I'm Darren.
I'm Derek,
and this is the Double D Podcast.
First episode of 2023. Hope you guys had a good New Year. Hope you guys had a good New Year. If you weren't at New Year's Eve's bash, shame on you. But if you were, it was nice seeing you guys there. That was a great show. Had a great time on New Year's Eve. First time being out at a bar on New Year's Eve. So there was a lot of firsts.
You know, it's a party.
It was a party. It's always a party.
It's always a party.
Now,
Double D Podcast and Battle on the Water combined is always a party.
Before we get into the review of New Year's Eve bash, Battle on the Water, we do have officially our new sponsor, Dubby.
We're about to be on crack.
So basically, if you guys haven't been paying attention, and we have a green screen behind us. I don't know if you can tell. So Dubby has been our sponsor now for a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks or so. And basically, Dubby is an energy drink. It comes to your house. It's in powder form, like protein powder. So all the wrestlers that are watching, hey, if you like energy drinks but you don't like the jitters and the crash that it gives you, try Dubby out. And if you use code Double D Podcast on Dubby's website, which is dubby.gg, you can get 10% off using the podcast or our code Double D Podcast. That's DOUBLEDPODCAST. It's in the description below. You can just use it there.
Discounts.
So basically, like I said, Dubby is gives you focus. They did not give me a card to read at all. Gives you focus and energy without the crash or jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. And we finally have some to try out.
Yeah, good shit. I think
We don't know. We haven't tried it yet. This is literally our first time trying it. So we just have some water
Which
here.
one's this one?
I don't know. This is Dragon Aid, which is dragon
That's the
fruit
one I wanted.
and pink strawberry lemonade. And then this one is called Galaxy Grenade, which is watermelon, guava, and lime explosion. Yeah.
See, that's what we're about to try.
So we're about to try. Now, if you guys order it,
If you guys notice, we're closer to the camera. Better quality.
we've changed a lot. We've changed a lot. So if you guys, when you guys order, it should be come in like a tub. But basically, you just get some water, or you get this nice little shaker, which we're not going to try yet. We're gonna try this over the next couple of weeks. We'll use the shaker. But as of now, we're just gonna open this sun gun up, and we're gonna try it out
Did you
live.
want to try this one, or did you want to try that
It doesn't matter to me.
I kind of really wanted to try this one.
You want to try it? Go for it.
I don't know why, I just did.
No,
Little
that's
nutritional facts.
Yeah.
It's
Vitamin C.
vitamin C, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B12.
Which is meth.
Yeah, and I don't know the rest of it.
Methyl
Or
carbon.
whatever vitamin B12
Carbon.
is, it's got 8,333%.
So yeah.
So that must be all right. Vitamin
Now
shit.
this has like nootropics in it. If you know anything about nootropics, this comes in it's really fine powder.
But the caffeination part is weird because it's
Come on, you can do it.
caffeine.
Should have done this before I opened.
It's caffeine science. I don't know what that science word is.
What are you talking about?
Caffeine anhydrous.
Yeah.
Anhydrous?
Anhydrous. That sounds good.
I don't know what it is.
Neurofactors in this. It doesn't matter what's in it really. People don't look at that.
If you're allergic to shellfish or tree nuts or peanuts, don't eat it.
don't drink
Or
it.
drink it.
Don't eat it at all.
And a
Don't-
kitty. Or maybe a trace amount. Make a.
So am I supposed to use this whole thing? I didn't read before I opened it.
Actually, it says there's a certain.
Take one packet with 8 to 12 ounces of water. New users.
It's like 16.
Okay, we're just gonna use it.
It's like 16.
It doesn't matter. Just put the fucking thing in there. Just put the thing in there. I did what I could. Okay.
What did it say about new users? Do we need to be prepared for this liquid crack?
No, it said new users may wish to assess tolerance with
Oh, I drink Mountain Dew every day.
half
We
a
good.
packet. Half a packet. But we are.
I drink Mountain Dew every day. We good.
I have
Mountain
a-
Dew and fucking Monster, Red Bull.
Hey, we can't be saying those names now. Come on.
I drink good stuff.
Generic energy drinks. every
Nasty
single
ass
week.
shit that will make you crash in an hour.
Have you ever had that? Do you crash off energy drinks?
Sometimes.
Do you?
It just depends.
It
It depends on how many I drink that day. Sometimes if I drink 2 of them, 3 of them, yeah. But if I drink one, I'm usually good.
You drink more than one a day?
It just depends on the day. Sometimes at lunch I go on a little trip. That's weird.
Okay,
It's
so
white.
I was gonna say, so I accidentally dumped a lot on the table.
That's fine because we're putting way too much in these anyway. So
Well, we gotta get ready. We're about to talk about Battle on the Border New Year's Eve bash.
Dude,
If the
mine's
cops
white.
came in right now, we'd be in so much
mine's
trouble.
white. Mine is white.
Oh no.
Why is it white?
Huh?
Why is it white?
I don't know. Oh god, this is not going well for me at all.
I think it's
Shake
really
it
like
like
that.
Shake it like your mama
Huh?
showed you.
Say what?
Don't do that. All right, I think it's good. Let's try this out. This is a
Have you got a
lot.
little bit of cocaine going on there, buddy?
Luckily, you guys can't see it. I poured a lot out. Oh,
Well,
hey,
they can.
the powder tastes good. That's W energy.
You got that cocaine.
It's W energy. It's W energy. Don't be spreading false lies.
You got that cocaine. All right. Now for the
Cover that up.
smell test.
Smell test.
Ooh, that smells like Kool-Aid.
Smells good. Yeah, it
That
does.
smells like
I
Kool-Aid.
had a little bit of powder on my finger because, as you see, it got all over the table, and the powder itself actually tastes good, which I was not expected. If you guys do like protein shakes, usually they suck. All right, ready? Bottoms up. Here's
It actually smells like lemonade.
a new 2023. Oh, I like it.
I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm. This is a dead serious review. If I didn't like, it, I wouldn't have tried it. I would have told you. Okay, here's the first thing is,
That actually tastes like fucking lemonade.
let me just do that.
That's good as fuck. Now you got cocaine on your lap.
It's not, it's W energy.
I tell you what,
I'm not gonna lie to you guys though, it is.
That's the best pre-workout I've ever drank. To be honest with you,
I was gonna say, well, it's pre-workout. It can be used. It's
it
more of
doesn't
an
taste.
energy drink.
It doesn't taste fake as fuck like most.
I was gonna say it's more of an energy drink than it is anything, but like, yeah, it can be used. I mean, this is to avoid those crashes. Like I said, I drink, all the normal energy drinks you see at the store.
That's why I liked it.
Why is that?
Dragon fruit and pink strawberry lemonade. That's
There
like
you
my
go.
two favorite things combined.
And I was gonna say this is gonna be 100% honest with you. If we didn't like it, we would have scrapped this, and you would
Yes.
not have seen it. So we like it. Get it.
W-Energy.
W.gg. WEnergy.gg. It'll be down in the link in the description. Use our code Double D Podcast and get 10% off your orders.
You can buy starter packs too, can't you?
You can. This was basic. This is what a starter pack was. So if you don't, it's really cheap, and if you use our code, you get some off. So if you don't know if you'll like it, this is a good option. Plus, you get this cool cup. And like I said, wrestlers out there, people who just train and work out, you get this cool.
Now, each
Cup
packet
of it.
mixes like 8 to 12 ounces. These are 16, and it still wasn't too strong.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Is that it's like a very light flavor. If this doesn't taste like your normal energy drink, that's another thing too that I like. A lot of energy drinks are really strong. God bless. This is light.
Very light. It's almost like drinking strawberry lemonade. Mine was.
Mine was.
As you've seen, I tipped it back for a little bit. I couldn't help it. It tastes that good. I mean,
Watermelon, guava, and lime explosion. I can
I'm
taste a
not
lot
sure
of
what
the.
guava is.
I'm not 100% sure.
It sounds
either,
good.
but it's. I tell you what it is that's good. Just plain and simple. So make sure you get it.
It is a weird white color, but it's still cool.
The color was off-putting, but let me tell you something. The color doesn't do it justice.
So I say the fact that they were both white kind of threw me off.
But it was good, man.
I mean that.
There's so many different other flavors out there.
Yeah,
So,
man.
so you're gonna see this cup in use. You're gonna see the different little flavors probably piling around the table. It's gonna be nice. They have shirts. If you guys are
We gonna
interested.
buy some t-shirts because that's some good shit.
And they're a sponsor we gotta support. And this is a sponsor we can actually get behind. Like Anchor. We can get behind Anchor. If you guys listen on the audio version, you can get behind Anchor. Now we get behind W. Don't make fun of the way I talk with my hands.
But the W, you can order on the internet when you work at a gym. Or work out at a gym. You can go to W and get you some W energy.
Don't shake it. That's so loud. There's no way. Our audio listeners are getting messed up.
Well, the audio listeners, you're not cool. You didn't get to see our ad.
You get to see it. They got to hear it. Now, more important.
I can't say that because we got some audio listeners that I quite enjoy all of them. So.
I listen to the audio, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck you too. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't watch it. I don't actually listen to the audio either. I hate hearing myself talk or watching myself in videos. So anyway, the more important thing is how did you spend your New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
How did you
Sure in
feel?
hell wasn't with us if you weren't with us.
Because if you weren't in Cleves, Ohio at the Rivers Edge Sports Complex, well, you were doing it wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
We had a great New Year's Eve. It was a great show. It was a long day for us. I mean,
It was honestly, like, hands down. I usually rate the Battle on the Border shows pretty high scale. This one was hands down 10 out of 10. Would love to see it happen again.
yeah, going into this show, I was legitimately saying that this was like the strongest looking card that they had. Just going into it, I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, obviously we have a little bit of a bias because we work with Battle on the Border, but even if we didn't, like, bias aside, okay, just bias aside, this looked like the greatest card that they've had yet that we've seen.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
We've only
one
been-
that we all of them we've seen. Yeah, this was the best card.
Yeah, and we've only been working on with Battle on the Border for a short amount of time, only a year. It'll be a year coming up here soon, so we haven't seen everything. But from what we've seen, this was the show I was looking forward to the most, 100%, for a lot of reasons, which we'll get to later with our inductee into the Battle of the Border into our Hall of Fame.
And then we'll start it with the talent alone was
Oh yeah, the talent on the card was great. It was
ridiculously good.
just overall, this was the show I was looking forward to the most, and it did not.
Not Carson Drake's mom. We're good.
And it did not disappoint. So let's start off by getting this out of the way. The Zero Gravity tournament had some members in it that were unfortunately due to scheduling issues weren't able to make it. So we had to get some new people in there, right?
But they still made it happen.
So it was Dio Salvador versus Justin Xavier. Now, if you guys are longtime listeners of this, you know that we like Justin Xavier on this show. So much so that we actually predicted him to win the Zero Gravity tournament when he wasn't even in it. So
Yeah,
now
and then
he has a chance to possibly
being
get
in
in
it.
So again, now I want everyone to know that I have notes here, but I'm watching the show and trying
It's
to
in
take notes.
scribblish, so you
Yeah.
ain't gonna be able to read
It's
it.
chicken scratch, so I'm gonna try to remember what I was thinking at the time. It's been a little bit less than a week by this point,
A
so
lot of scribblish.
we're just gonna try to get behind this. First off,
my memory.
just off of the top, fans are definitely behind Justin Xavier. Fans love Justin Xavier. We
Who
love
doesn't
Justin
love
Xavier.
Justin Xavier?
And
It's a real question.
I've never seen Diaz Salvador wrestle, so I was excited to see him wrestle. I was excited to see him get in the ring, but I was obviously everyone was behind Justin Xavier.
I would say I was behind him.
So the winner of this moves on to the Zero Gravity tournament later on. So it kind of gives some of the people who have moved on, like Carson Drake, Jaden Jett, it gives them some upper hand because
He still should have been disqualified. But yes.
they don't have to wrestle before. But hey, if you want to win a title, this is the best way to do it. So
Like Carson Drake wouldn't last if he had to wrestle before.
early on in the
I mean, you just don't give him too much credit. He would have been out of breath by the time his ass got in the ring the second time.
Early on in
So-
the match, Salvador was accusing Justin Xavier of cheating by pulling his hair, saying stuff like that.
Did not see it.
And Salvador was ducking Justin Xavier by walking around on the outside of the ring. Now, there had been some action inside of the ring at this point, but early on in the match, Salvador was trying to get a breather, trying to get out of the ring, ducking him a little bit. That's how I worded it. He did catch Xavier off guard to regain some offense. There was a 2 count on Xavier, so it was really close for Dios. It was really close. There was a big chop on Salvador, followed by an eye poke. So that did not help.
Followed by a cheat.
So Salvador's just using his resources, some would say.
All right, Carson.
There was a big kick by Xavier, which let him regain some control. Salvador did 2 of the 3 amigos. If you don't know what the 3 amigos is, look up Eddie Guerrero 3 amigos. He did 2 of the 3 amigos before he flipped the crowd off and then went to something else. There was a 2 count on Salvador after a big move by Xavier, and then a top rope move by Justin Xavier gave the win to Justin Xavier. He's moving on to the Zero Gravity tournament. So at this point, now again, the match was so much better than what I'm giving it justice for, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows, like, at this point, once Justin Xavier wins, we're fully behind Justin Xavier.
The End of the Oldie podcast fully takes the responsibility of calling this match.
We called it before
Before
it
it was
possibly
even
happen.
announced.
Like, there was no
So,
chance it was going to happen.
We knew he was going to be in it regardless, guys.
Yeah,
So
see,
we weren't wrong.
We predicted the future, so
Yeah.
Denim, we weren't wrong.
We weren't wrong. We just know.
We just knew what was going to happen. We knew that there
We
were going
knew
to be some
before
scheduling
everybody
conflicts.
else.
We knew.
We already knew.
We already.
We knew before anybody. Nobody ever predicted Justin Xavier would be back in the Zero Gravity
But
match.
we did, damn it.
But we did. Yeah, that makes us awesome.
So now we're moving into our second match. Moving into our second match of the Zero Gravity qualifying matches. This is between Piper GK Fam, which we got to review doing Cincy Wrestling,
Yes.
against Party Mike, who we've also got to review doing Cincy Wrestling. But this is our first time that we
Seeing
actually
them
get
in
to see them in person wrestle live. So this was very exciting for us. I was really looking forward to seeing Piper GK Fam his match in Cincy Wrestling, where he actually had a tag team match with Party Mike because his partner wasn't able to make it. So this is kind of interesting to see. It's something a little bit different. The crowd was definitely very split between the two. There was 50-50, where there was a good amount of the crowd that was rooting for Piper, and there was a really good amount of the crowd that was rooting for Party Mike. So it was 50-50. So there's really no home field advantage. I always like to mention who's rooting for who, just to let you know what the wrestlers are up against. Because I think people, I don't even know this for sure, but I would imagine that being in the ring and hearing the other opponent's name, your opponent's name being said, has to play into your psychology a little bit.
That'd piss me off.
Right, it would.
That would piss me off. If I heard the other opponent's name, I'd be out there flipping everybody off too. I kind of don't blame them.
Exactly.
I kind of don't blame them.
So Piper is basically doing the same thing early on in the match that Dio Salvador was doing earlier, where he's kind of ducking Party Mike by getting out of the ring quick. Unfortunately for Piper, he walked into an elbow. Didn't actually walk into it, but he walked into an elbow, if you know what I'm saying, by Party Mike, so he can't dodge him anymore.
No.
Big offense early by Party Mike. It's not looking good for Piper here early on, but Piper, he's running from Party Mike, and then he finally kicks someone re-entering the ring. So they were on the outside of the ring, Piper was running from him. And then Piper gets into the ring real quick. Party Mike follows, and then a big kick, and that changes the tide of the matchup completely. Piper then flips off the crowd before some good offense against Mike. Very close 2 count on Party Mike. I had to do the bell. I had my hand on the bell. I was close. There was about to be some pretty pissed off people.
I had my hand on the button, and it was about to go down.
It was like, oh, that was close.
Yeah, that was a close 2 count.
He was arguing with the fans, arguing with the referees. Piper is who I'm talking about. He was certain that was a 3. And certain members of the crowd were really not a fan of Piper. I mean, there were some people here who just, and Piper kind of did it to himself. Listen, I don't know Piper GK Fan personally. I don't know. This is the first show seeing him live. I'm a fan of him.
I'm a fan.
But I gotta tell you, there were some people here who just really did not like Piper. And
I'm also a fan of Party Mike though, because they're both just good.
Oh yeah,
Shit, that whole match was just fantastic.
So Piper's distracted by yelling at the fans and arguing back and forth with them. So Mike was able to get some offense in because of that, because Piper was so distracted. This is what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So distracted by the fans yelling at someone else's name.
So it kind of fuckered him up a little bit.
Mike is able down to get on the offense. Had a close 2 count after a nice power bomb. Mike did. Had a nice, very close 2 count. Power bomb isn't exactly what you would expect to see in a zero gravity tournament, but that could work to Party Mike's advantage if he were to win and move on. It would really help his advantage being able to do something like a power bomb. Because basically the only one that could really do a power bomb outside of himself is Carson Drake.
That's because they're...
Oh. So it's a little bit different. So it would be like it's the only 2 people you could possibly see.
He was overweight too.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
Uh-huh.
But even if he was, it doesn't matter because...
Why is this even a zero gravity match?
Overall,
why is it zero gravity?
Mike got thrown into a post inside of the ring. His shoulder.
Same. I should be in it then. 230 pounds. Put me in, coach.
Mike's not overweight. We'll get to Carson Drake later, but Mike's not overweight. He hit the weight limit. Didn't want to put him in this match if he didn't. But it doesn't matter ultimately because Mike unfortunately lost the match.
He didn't get in.
If you didn't hear me, because Darren was talking and mumbling the whole time. What I said was that they're in the ring and Mike had his shoulder rammed into the ring post on the inside of the ring, so Piper GK Fam moves on. So now the field is set as such. Just let me move on so I make sure I get these names right, because I don't want to be...
Field is such as such.
I don't want to be that kind of guy. I don't want to get anybody wrong. It was
librarian.
Zero gravity tournament. Well, we've been wrong before. Don't want to be wrong again. Now is Carson Drake, Piper GK Fam, Avery Hurst, Jaden Jett, and Justin Xavier in the Zero Gravity Tournament finale.
Yes.
So, who do you think is going to win at this point? At this point, I'm rooting for Justin Xavier.
GK Fam.
You're rooting for GK Fam. So see
at that point, when I found out he won, I was kind of rooting for GK Fam because, I don't know, I wanted Justin Xavier to win, but I wanted GK Fam to win too. Because it's kind of like here with them two. I like them both.
I'm surprised
really
you like Piper G.
He's entertaining as hell, and he's really good at what he does.
Well, of course he is. I'm not saying he isn't. I never take anything away from anybody's talent.
I'm cool with bad guys as long as they're Not this, not the Double D podcast, Carson.
Well,
or that better. But I mean, if you're gonna try to call it Double D podcast now, we gonna have some problems. But no, GK Fan put on a fantastic show. Party Mike put on a fantastic show.
of course.
But there was just
Salvador, Justin Xavier.
yeah,
so far the
they're a
show's
fantastic show. But there's just two that conveniently made it into the Zero Gravity division that I couldn't pick who I wanted to win. It was hard for me.
Now, to be fair, I was going to say, to be fair, up until this point, I was rooting for Avery Hertz, but only because we made a mistake by saying Justin Xavier was moving on when he, in fact, did not move on earlier on. I'm now rooting for Justin Xavier, so that way I can say, oh, I called it. I'm Nostradamus or whatever.
But
you know?
deep down, we Avery Hertz.
I mean, let's be honest. We'll get to that later. We you know how much we love you. There are certain wrestlers that we can't hold back on. We like you, we like you.
Yes.
And if you don't, with Darren and Carson Drake, we don't.
Yeah,
we
we
have
don't.
time for this next
Yeah,
one?
go on.
I don't know if we
We
do.
got 9 minutes. 10
This
minutes.
is gonna be a
Good.
long, this is a long match. We have a lot to say about this one.
Oh.
Let's just take a quick break.
Well, but we could jump back to the before times. Yeah, let's just take a break. And we are back on another episode of the Double D Podcast.
We are back, and we are going to be talking about match 3.
Yeah.
By the way, if the audio sounds different, our microphones died. So
Yeah, they did.
just live with it.
I'm not feeling my butt. I'm just trying to raise my chair. I'm too low.
Audio listeners probably sound the same. They definitely sound the same.
I'm fat.
But the video listeners, it might be a little bit different. We're gonna work on that. Still amateur.
I like being taller than you.
It's the only time you're taller than me. Level down so we're equal. It doesn't look. Well, I'm in the chair. You don't have to fuck your posture up. But...
It's like,
All right. This next one wins our very coveted match. Very coveted match of the night award. Congratulations! Everybody knows, and everybody cares about.
I can eat and clap.
There you go. Everybody cares about the Double D podcast's opinions because we mean so much to everybody. That's a lie, by the way. Just let everybody know. So, but
Everyone
anyway,
hates us.
our match of the night goes to Anthony Katina against Eric Surge. Now, we've talked about Eric Surge in the past. Eric Surge was in a tag team match at the Aurora Farmers Fair. This is our first time seeing Anthony Katina, but Anthony Katina has been involved on AEW Dark, so he's someone who's a little bit established.
Very fantastic wrestlers.
This was definitely match of the
Hands down.
night by far. I mean, we wrote it down. This was our favorite match of the night. And it was something that's a sleeper. What I've noticed
I was
is
just about to say, it's like a sleeper match.
every single time that we say this is match of the night, it's almost always a sleeper. The only exception I can think of is Matt Taylor and Aaron Williams, where we were told by Denham himself that this was going to be a match that we're going to watch, and we were not let down. This one we had
But
no.
it was a sleeper at the beginning, though.
It was.
We didn't expect that one to happen.
It was, and we did not expect this one either. And in fairness, again, this is the first time seeing either of these two.
What's that?
This.
Yeah.
That's an extra shirt I accidentally bought on Christmas, so now it's just chilling on the table. Because I don't know what else to go with it. Anyway, I was going to say thanks for completely ruining the flow of what we were doing. But
Sorry, I got distracted.
anyway, let's get to the match now. Anthony
I need more
Katina,
Debbie.
Anthony Katina and Eric Surge. First off, Anthony Katina comes out and he trips over a ledge. For people who don't know about what River's Edge looks like, there's a little ledge that these wrestlers have to
Well,
just
it's got grass.
traverse
It's
over.
a soccer field, so it's got goals on each end.
Yeah, and
And
then
it's got a bunch of weird lines. I don't know what soccer lines are, so it's got those. And it's got big panels of glass that cover the whole front. And
The real-
a nice wall in the back. And then it's like a hockey entrance
yeah, they have like a
on the
little
side.
little bench
behind
area
us.
where all the players will sit, and there's a little ledge that you have to make it over. Last time we were in River's Edge,
It's actually a pretty good sized ledge.
it is. No, it is. I say it's a little
I
ledge.
almost tripped over it last time we
No,
were there.
I was gonna say it's a little. I say a little ledge, but I mean a ledge, but it's big enough where anybody can trip over it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anthony Katina tripped over it. Is my
Can
point.
you believe this guy made me restart his music?
He did. I mean,
I shouldn't have done it.
I mean, listen. You got to know what the ledge looks like. I mean, in your defense, I will give you that. You got to know what the ledge looks like. He tried it the second time.
He successfully
He
made
successfully
it.
made it.
I was surprised. I figured we were going to walk him over like a kindergartner.
I'm just kidding. You're gonna have to hold his hand while he came.
Yeah,
over.
just
There's a
make sure-
ledge. Just walk over it.
Get on the microphone. Ledge.
But so he finally was able to get over the ledge and he's making his entrance. And this guy automatically makes people hate him because he kicked a little kid's ball away from him. The little kid had a ball.
I don't blame him. I would have too.
Kicked the little kid's ball away from him. I mean, this guy is just a jerk. Anthony Katina then goes on to call Surge the weakest man in the arena.
Mind you, that's a big mistake.
That was a very, very big mistake. Because let me tell you right now, plain and simple, he's just not.
No.
Eric Surge is probably, almost definitely 100%, the most powerful person.
You know how basketball players spin a basketball on their finger?
Yeah.
Eric Surge could probably pick Anthony Katina up and spin him on his fucking finger.
Anthony Katina, I don't want to take away from Anthony Katina. He's a big dude too. He's tall, muscular. I mean, I'm not taking away.
But Eric
from him.
Surge is like, oh.
But Eric Surge,
You
NCAA
almost
nationals.
think he's got to turn sideways just to walk through a door.
Yeah.
He's fucking ripped.
He's a big dude. NCAA national champion in wrestling. So this guy's serious.
Yeah,
You don't want
he's
to
the
miss
bees.
this guy.
Shanice.
Katina also called Surge fat. Surge is not fat.
Carson Drake is, not Surge.
This is all just going to piss Surge off. Really not understanding Katina's mindset here. I mean, I think his idea is, we're going to piss him off, get into his mind,
Yeah.
and try to play mind games. Not very smart to do.
Not with Eric Surge.
He also called Cleves a toe fungus, the whole town itself. He also said that all the fans had buck teeth. So, Anthony
That's
Katina...
come from a guy that comes from Texas.
Yeah, he is.
Texas is the buck teeth.
Usually.
And Kentucky. Hal Cleves. Sorry,
Well-
Kentucky. I had to throw you on. But
Well, I don't know, but he did. So while he's doing this, I mean, mind you, the match has started at this point. So they're in the ring, and Katina is yelling this to the crowd. And while he's distracted, Surge tries to get a quick pin, covers him up. 1, 2, kicks out. But it was almost done. And I can tell you what, I mean, I would have been happy just because Katina was being a jerk. But I'm also happy he kicked out because we got to see the match of the night.
that would have been probably the fastest match of the night.
It would have been by far. Katina immediately jumped up and slapped Surge, which again just pisses him off a little bit more.
Fucked up.
His whole
smacking.
his whole mindset coming into this was just to piss Surge off, which was not smart.
No.
So Surge obviously got mad at this, and he started his offense against Katina. Katina tries to get away by going to the outside, but Surge was able to catch him and starts beating him up. Katina kicks the rope, and Surge is trying to get back into the ring at some point. So we've tried it. What was it that Sean Bossman called it? The crotch destroyer or something.
Or they take him and put him up on the thing.
No, yeah, that's different. Yeah, you're right. My bad. No, this
That's
is where
the
he's.
crotch
Yeah, you're right.
destroyer.
Right. This is where Surge is trying to get back into the ring in between the ropes, and then Katina
Kick,
kicked
get the
it.
cheap shot.
So it's the crotch destroyer number 3.
It's basically the same damn thing.
Yeah, it definitely hurts.
Like his legs are definitely like in the middle of the rope, and the rope's like where.
Yeah.
And Katina kicks it.
Yeah,
You gotta think, if you're a man especially, that's gonna hurt.
it's gonna hurt
A
no
lot.
matter what.
A lot.
Absolutely. So Katina continues to be rude to the crowd. He continues to insult Surge the whole time. I wrote down right here, sleeper match of night is what I wrote down because that's what it was. I mean, going into this match, I was already excited for it.
But
But
I 100% back that.
Yeah.
That's
so
facts.
to go back just a second, just to paint this picture. Anthony Katina, when he came out with a picture of himself, which is it's pretty self-centered to do.
It was one of the fucking headshots too.
One of those headshots. I don't know if he's expecting an agent to be here, like a wrestling agent expecting, or maybe I don't know, who knows what he's
He
expecting.
thinks he's fancy.
He thinks he's fancy, and he brought it out with him. So he grabbed this picture of himself while Surge was on the ground, and he places it on Eric Surge.
Yeah.
Goes to the top, jumps off, but Surge moves. Surge moves. That was not smart.
Anthony Katina hits the goddamn floor.
Hits the goddamn floor. And after that, Surge pins him. 1, 2, 3, and it is over.
Done,
Again, not
son.
doing this match enough justice because overall this was a great match, and you can tell by my notes I was really into it. I wrote a lot down, but it's such little things.
If you guys were there, you would have been.
When we
able
do
to
these
tell.
reviews, we're just trying to let you know what you missed, so in the future you can get there. I'm not going to spoil everything for you. What do you think this
especially
is?
when you come to the next show.
Which we'll get
that
to
in
later.
a little bit.
So, this was match of the night. After this, Surge grabbed a beer and drank a beer. Grabbed a Bud Light,
Hey,
drank a
He
beer.
was given a Bud Light by the fan.
He was. I mean, the fans definitely people were won over by Surge. And I got to tell you again, both of these guys, fantastic wrestlers, outside of just breaking, the character a little bit here. Great wrestlers, both of these guys. Want to see them in I was gonna say in AEW, I do, but I want to see them in Battle on the Border more, and I hope we get to see them more. Eric Surge, especially Anthony Couture.
I remember Eric Surge's debut Battle on the Border.
Yeah, it was one show ago.
Yeah, I know.
At least I think. I'm pretty sure it was.
It was the one in
Aurora.
Aurora, yeah, his tag team match.
Yeah, it was.
That was his debut.
So again, I'm going into as much detail as I can. I'm remembering more from memory, but like I said, I'm trying to paint a picture so you guys want to come to shows. I'm hoping we're doing justice.
Then you got the actual match of the night.
I was gonna say no. This one, I actually,
this is the match.
I actually even wrote this down. Now at this point, actually, I was a little bit distracted, not because of the match, but because of others.
I was distracted by the match.
He was. I was distracted for other reasons, talking to some people. So I didn't get as much down, but this was a match that I was actually looking forward to, probably the most.
My paper would have looked less than that if I was taking notes.
Yeah, I would have got way more down in this. But this was one of the matches I was actually looking forward to the most coming into this one because there was a UK title involved, which sounds really cool. It was a UK TV title, UK Women's TV title held by Shauna Reed, who is making her return finally back to Battle on the Border after being gone for a while.
Which was nice.
Fun fact, first time we actually ever went to a Battle on the Border show, Shauna Reed was there. It was the last time that we had seen her, I believe.
Pretty sure she was
Immortal.
She was facing Melina Saka in that first one, wasn't she?
No, it was somebody else. I apologize, I don't remember who it was. The second time I seen her was a triple threat match with her, Malia Saka, and Ari Alexander. And then Malia Saka won there. That's when, and that was the last time I had seen her. And since then, we haven't seen her. Now she's back. Obviously, she's been doing some traveling. She's UK Women's TV title holder, so she's been doing some traveling. She's got a lot under her belt. If you guys are friends with her or follow her on Facebook, I recommend you go follow her.
We're the only ones that follow people on Facebook to wrestle.
Well,
I'm just kidding. But
partially
if
part of
we
my
are,
job
then
now.
you guys should probably be doing it too.
You should go over there. She also has a YouTube channel you should go check out. I was actually watching one of her videos and she described her 2022. It was a rough 2022 for her, so I hope 2023 is better for her.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. This match did not disappoint. None of the matches did.
This was the best match of the night.
Sean Reed was arguing with the crowd. By the way, also, I'll shoot here. Best entrance of the night as far as music goes. 100%. I like
that because she did some cool little shits where she walked in the ring and then.
By the way, this is I forgot to mention what the match was. It's Judy Ray.
We're already distracted.
Judy Ray versus Shauna Reed was the match, by the way. So I want to point that out. We said Judy Hendricks. Her name is Judy Ray.
And she was already in the ring.
Yes.
And then Shauna Reed comes out, gets in the ring like normal, and does this cool little fucking jumps in the air, crosses her legs, and slams on the ground right in front of her.
And then just does this little tilted head, like smile and stare. Yeah, it's pretty
cool. Little weird shit, but it's cool.
Yeah. Shauna Reed was arguing with the crowd, and then at some point, a fan called her something other than Shauna. I don't remember what they called her, but I wrote it down because I think it was Cheyenne or something. They called her something wrong. Put respect on Shauna Reed's name. You get her name wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea to move that. Damn it. I even wrote down here best match of the night by Darren because he looked over at me while the match was going on. I was like, best match of the night.
Mind you, I've been drinking a little bit.
Yeah, our sound guy drinking. Real responsible.
I did a good job still, didn't I?
We'll get to that later.
Action. Yeah. We're going to get to that later.
It's your fault. Action ended up going to the outside. The fans were definitely behind Shauna this whole match, which was kind of interesting considering that it seemed like she
was hated.
But the thing is here, I think fans were more just excited to see her back, and it was no offense to Judy Ray. She did very well in this matchup as well. It was a great match.
I like her overalls.
Yeah, man, she got the country gimmick going. She came out like Tyler Childers. I mean,
I like that a lot.
It was a great matchup between these two. There was a lot of hair pulling and stomping from Judy Ray, and that was just not going to be able to get it done against someone like Shauna Reed. I mean, when you go over the seas, when you go overseas, you go overseas and you're winning titles overseas.
Over the seas.
You got to do more than that. Now, granted, she did do a little bit more than that, but it wasn't enough to get the win. The winner and continuing her title reign, Shauna Reed retained her title. Congratulations. to Shauna Reed. Hopefully, we get to see her back very soon.
Yes.
I would like to see a little rematch between her and Malia Saka, possibly.
I would like to see that, yes.
I'd like
We
to
have
see-
not seen Malia Saka in a while, so
In
I
a
would
while.
love for her return.
It's been a while.
Because I really enjoyed watching Malia Saka.
Yeah,
wrestle.
and this I think would make the most sense between these two. But there's the women's division in AEW. I almost did it again.
Battle on the border.
Women's
He is
division.
a dumb.
The women's division in Battle on the Border it's growing, and I like to see that. Women's wrestling is really, I mean, like what you see on TV on Monday nights, Friday nights, Wednesday nights. Women's wrestling is growing. It's nice to see.
Fantastic to see.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. But I mean, I'm also
But, I
just
mean-
talking like just from a skill point of view.
How about midgets, though?
Little
That
people.
would be awesome.
Micro wrestling.
Micro wrestling is badass. I follow micro wrestlers on fucking YouTube.
I almost got to see a micro wrestling show when I went to Gatlinburg. Sean Bossman was actually there. That's how I found out about it, but it was 3 hours away from Gatlinburg. I thought it was closer for some reason.
That'd been cool as shit. You seen Sean Bossman over at micro wrestling?
Yeah, he was there the same weekend that me and my family were down there in Gatlinburg. And
That's cool.
me, Dad, and my uncle and my grandpa actually thought about going, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh, well, it's 3 hours away. Can't do that.
I do, in fact, have a Florida trip coming up. So we're going to cover that later on in March.
Well, that'll be in March.
Later on in March.
Months away. What are you talking about?
But I was able to get off for work. All I had to do was turn in a note.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I got a job.
Congratulations, Darren. How do you feel about your new job?
I tell you, that first week it's tough.
Yeah,
That makes me work out. If you can't tell, I'm a little fat. So I mean, the working out's a little tough. All right, it's not bad.
So now we're into the intermission part. So the first question that I have here in the intermission is,
Yes, please call me. Okay.
okay.
It's a,
I don't know why I was reading. I see you go like that, so I just did it too. I wasn't reading it.
It's a customer. We're good.
Because I have no idea what that
I'm
said.
selling headphones. I'm selling my old pair of headphones because I got my smaller ones that are a hell of a lot better because the ones are too damn bulky.
Right.
Have you ever had the headphones where you put them over your face, over your head, and you're like, man, what the fuck? These things are huge.
I'll tell you what I
So you take
miss.
them off and then you get the small one, you're like, man, that's right. That
Right.
works.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I miss is I like that this microphone. It works, especially when we have multiple people, so we
I
can
miss
share
this.
microphones. But I miss having the actual microphone, the headphones. It felt more professional.
Mm-hmm.
I like this setup a lot more. The closer, the green screen. We're gonna eventually be able to put stuff behind us with the green screen.
But eventually also want to upgrade from this back to this, but
Move that screen.
wireless.
Yeah, there's things we want to do.
I want to get I want our microphones back. I like the microphone being there. I like the headphones. I like having the unit in front of me, being able to control stuff.
Yeah.
I want to get a sound effects board
We
where I
had
put
that.
cool ass sound effects on.
Yeah, we had that the first couple episodes.
I plan on mixing up an intro, a WD podcast intro.
Yeah.
Badass. I'm going to be working on it. It's going to take a little bit of time, so you gotta give me a little bit of leeway on that. But I plan on, because I'm a DJ, so I plan on DJing up a little bit of something for an intro. I mean, we got big plans. Anyways,
Well,
let's get back to the main task at hand.
The real question is, now we're at intermission, and the real question is, Darren,
Well,
you're
while we're at
talking about-
intermission, I'm going to take an intermission real quick.
Hold on. Well, we're not done yet. The first question involves you.
Oh,
And this is a
my
big
lord.
part. This is a big part. Just wait. Your bladder can fucking
Oh,
wait.
okay.
This is a big part. This is kind of the most important part for us.
Yeah, that's where
personally.
my fucking microphone wrecked. But
Yeah,
yes.
so here's the thing. I wrote this down, and this is a legit question. You're talking right now about upgrading microphones here. You're talking about upgrading sound here. The real question is are you going to upgrade the microphones for Battle on the Border?
I have to.
The worst thing that happened to the whole show was that Darren's microphone stopped working in the middle, and we had to use a
You're
shorter
about to
microphone.
find out why. And it was the last match of the night, so it wasn't in the middle.
Well, it was messing up before this, but we figured out that problem.
This one got fucking wrecked. But I'm gonna don't tell you why. Don't worry.
No, that's not why, and we know that's not why. But
I don't
we'll have
know,
that
man.
argument later in a second.
Anyways.
Most important thing is that Darren sucks at sound. We figured that out. Now.
Fuck you.
So
You
I
know
mean,
better than
he did fine with the entrance music. He played everyone's
Did I
music.
not have a backup?
You played it. Yeah, you did.
And Rick said that was cool. You had a backup. You were ready. You plugged her in fast. You were good to
Just
go. So fuck you.
for the next.
Rick
maybe,
said I was good. So
Maybe
fuck
for
you.
the next show,
Hey, Rick said I was good. Fuck you.
Maybe for the next show.
opinion matters.
just get the microphone working.
I'm about to get the
100%.
really expensive one and then put like a rubber coating around it.
because the mic.
These microphones never left their case. I'm actually gonna go on Amazon and put a badass review because that was bullshit.
A bad review. Because you say badass review. It sounds
Oh yeah, just a terrible fucking. It's like a
Okay.
nasty review.
Let's get
But
professional.
anyways, let's get to the task in hand, Derek. Stop throwing me off.
my big thing is here. No, I just wanted to ask that question because I wrote it down because I thought it would be funny to bring up.
It was embarrassing, but I corrected it. I had my backup microphone, and we were able to continue the show for the fans, and that's all that matters.
It does. It does. I was just giving you a hard time because you made a mistake. I have to call you out for it.
I didn't make a mistake. It was an equipment failure.
It was. No, I know. It was.
Reason.
No, that wasn't the reason, and I can't even explain it because we haven't got there yet.
It worked after that, though.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there was some lightning thumbs going on. I'm talking about afterwards, and then it stopped.
Fucking lightning bug.
When it stopped, it was.
My microphones are really weird.
Yeah,
you click them once and it mutes. You click them again and it's active, but you have to look at the little symbol on it.
Yeah.
But if you're like in the midst of the moment, like Rick Toms, he's an announcer announcing in front of all these fans, so he's not going to be sitting there staring at the microphone trying to click and see if it's.
Yeah, we just got to get
we
just got to get simpler microphones.
Yeah,
ones that are reliable. I
hope I can get them fixed, to be honest, because I really like those microphones.
Yeah, for weddings I think they work, but I think I know you don't like the wired microphones.
I am not going to do a wire,
but I think
wireless.
I know, but
Rick Toms likes it. I like it.
I know. I understand, but what I'm saying is, this is all. I'm just saying, wireless, to work. Wireless, you're taking a chance. Is all I'm saying. Now,
wireless, to work, and wireless, you're taking a chance.
Wired. I meant to say wired, to work. Wireless, you're taking a chance. Is all I'm saying.
But then I'm taking that risk of, say you got because you can get extenders for the, like long ass cords. So I got it plugged into my adapter, right?
Yeah.
So say you got it all the way stretched, like 30 feet?
Yeah.
What if this little random kid comes running through, kicks it, knocks my gear off, pulls the microphone out of his hand, and the whole thing's a catastrophe because then my freaking
at that point
speakers are connected to the head unit, so my head unit gets ripped out, my computer gets tossed off, my speakers come to the ground. Rick Toms is falling off the damn thing because the damn microphone is dragging him off. There's a whole lot that can go wrong with a wired microphone, I promise. But this is worst case scenario.
I was going to say,
you got to think of the worst crap.
At this point, what if an asteroid hits the fucking place that we're at? I mean, you're kind of talking like ridiculous.
I got $1,200 floating.
None of this matters. None of this matters.
This
is all going to get cut out of the podcast. None of this matters. We got so sidetracked. The most important part.
The microphone's is staying because it's a funny segment.
The most important part of the show. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast at this point.
We're only 22 minutes.
The most important part of the show, in our opinion, on our very humble, not at all opinion,
and you guys are about to find out some information that we hinted at for a long time,
is that we got to induct somebody into our Hall of Fame. Now,
we did.
Our Hall of Fame is new. It is meaningless, to be completely honest.
It's not. It means something.
But it is our way of showing gratitude to people who deserve it.
I gotta say that the recipient was very happy with this award.
He was, no, absolutely.
He was very happy with this.
And that's ultimately all that matters. So yeah, we got told, we were not told how this was going to work out in advance. I was told when the show started, basically, that this was how it was going to roll down. Originally, we had a plan of just doing it before the show, after the show, doing a little segment here, putting it on.
But no,
and then,
it was intermission.
We got told that after intermission that we would be I would be going into the ring and inducting this member into the Hall of Fame. So first off, I want to make this very clear. Huge shout out to everybody who cheered for us when we got to go into the ring. It meant a lot. There were people who watched. There were some people who said they were going to become subscribers afterwards.
And we gained some subscribers.
We did. So thank you to everybody who showed any support. Even if you haven't watched an episode, this is your first episode. If you have watched an episode before,
stick around, then you get better.
Thank you.
Stick around, then you get better. We won't argue about microphones every episode, I promise.
So thank you for everybody who showed support, and also thank you to Battle on the Border for giving us this opportunity.
And to give us an awesome chance. So I've never had a chance to induct somebody into a WD Podcast Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool.
So our first thing that I want to point out is that when you get into a ring, for anybody who hasn't been into a professional wrestling before, I haven't up until this point either. The ropes are a little bit taller than I originally thought. So when I was up on the apron, I took this little second. I don't know if I've even told you this. Where I got up on the apron where Rick Toms is explaining what's about to happen. And I take this little second to look at the ropes. I'm like, damn, I gotta get my leg up.
Damn, I gotta really hike this thing up.
I was able to get up there, and got in the ring and did a little thing. It was all from, just coming off the top of the head, so hopefully it made sense to people. I don't even really
I think
remember.
it sounded good.
I don't even really remember what I said because I was kind of in the moment.
You cracked some jokes. I like it.
I tried my
You cracked
best.
some good.
Yeah, and I didn't mean this. I do remember saying this when I asked if anybody watched, and there was some people. There was actually a decent amount of people who raised their hand, and there were some people who did a little bit of cheering.
Yeah.
And I said something. I said, "Well, we gotta get those numbers up."
We gotta get those numbers
What I
up.
meant to say was thank you for subscribing and watching. But it came
We're still
out
gonna
as-
get them numbers.
We're gonna get them
But,
numbers.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
So then I had the honor of inducting our first member into the Hall of Fame, and the first member of our Hall of Fame is none other than the owner and promoter of Battle on the Border,
Denham Blevins.
Denham Blevins.
Congratulations, buddy.
Denham.
You have been on the podcast the most.
He's been on the most. He's given us a lot of opportunities. Any interview that you see here on this channel is because of him.
Orchestrated
He
because of
sets
him.
it up. He's become a really close friend of ours outside of the wrestling world. So I want to thank him for being such a nice person and being able to give us so much opportunity, living out sort of a dream here with us. And he's been, like I said, nothing but nice to us. And that's not only that, but anybody we've ever interviewed on this show has been. Besides Carson Drake and Sergeant Ledbetter, have been very nice and
We don't like
respectful. Have been very nice and respectful, and he has been on the most. And so we just wanted to thank him. And this will be
Eat it, Carson.
This will be a yearly.
Eat it.
This will be a yearly thing where we always induct somebody. So, so I gave him the award, and he shouts us out a little bit, and that was very nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes on to make a couple of announcements, which we'll get to later on in the show because I want to make sure that I don't mess anything up.
Yes.
So I'm standing there, and I'm kind of just waiting. I'm waiting for it to end so I can get out of the ring because I'm nervous. I started sweating a little bit while I was in there just because a lot of eyes were on me. And then he mentioned something about the Masked Man. Now, we have been on the case of the Masked Man for basically since the last show.
And we're going to get boiled down to it because I have an idea who it is, and we're going to be at the end. We'll go ahead
When the
and
Masked
reveal
Man,
that.
when the Masked Man attacked, and so he mentioned that if anybody knew, he was getting the BOTB brigade behind it. We've been on the case for weeks. We have no leads. We
should not be investigators.
We should not. We suck. So we've been doing our best, and so I'm standing there.
SVU, don't hire us.
Yeah. And he's mentioning about the Masked Man, and if anybody, we need his eyes out or whatever. And then all of a sudden, while I'm standing there, I hear these little kids yell, "He's behind you." So this all happened within the span of about 10 seconds.
Want me to take over?
No, you can give your account after, but I just want to point everybody into the right. I'm sorry, keep looking over time. I just want to give everybody an idea of what's going on in my head. So this all happened in like 10 seconds, but I had a lot of thoughts in this 10 seconds. I hear the little kids yell, "He's behind you." I think they're little kids. Maybe they're just fucking around. I look behind Denham, and here comes this Masked Man. Now, listen. I hit the fucking deck. I got out of there about as fast as I could. I don't know who this Masked Man is. He's attacking Denham. I got to get out of Dodge's way.
Why didn't you go try and help him?
Look, it happened so fast.
What the hell?
It happened so
You want
fast.
to let our
I know.
Hall of Famer?
I know. I let Denham down. It happened so fast. I just
got
got a little nervous.
right? No, I'm just kidding.
I just got nervous, man. I seen a guy running towards the ring. I got nervous. I was like, holy shit, because I was worried. This is one of the things we talked about off air, I think, where we were worried. Like we said, man, what if this guy fucking hijacks our little thing? Even if it's not this Masked Man is probably watching them at all times. So even if it happened after the show, before the show, whatever it happened, I was always nervous that because Denham singled out, maybe this will be a time, and then it happened, and it was my worst fear confirmed, and I got the hell out of there. I hit the apron. My back was a little stiff the next day when I woke up. But let me tell you, I got out of there as fast as I could. Denham ended up being okay.
Fastest I've ever seen
He was
you get out of
attacked,
anywhere.
but I moved fast. I got the hell out of there. So
I said this guy he's a slow motherfucker.
I am slow.
If that is the fastest I've ever seen. This motherfucker move.
Yeah.
When he says he hit the deck, this motherfucker goes from standing to rolling.
From my eyes, now I don't remember this. So you have to tell me because I reacted so naturally. Did I go in between the first and second?
No, you went straight out the bottom
Right
barrel
at the
roll
bottom
out
of
that
the barrel.
motherfucker.
Like I couldn't remember. I'll be honest with you. I was like I couldn't remember. All I remember is when I just remember I fucking hit the ring pretty hard.
And then we'll get to my side after this break.
Well, real quick, we have enough time. Just get through
27 minutes.
Yeah,
All right. So
don't have to rush through it.
what I seen was, so they said the masked guy's behind you. He jumps in the ring, grabs Denham. This motherfucker, fastest I've ever seen him escape anything, drops to the fucking ground, barrel rolls up that motherfucker. Denham gets slammed into the corner
Ring post.
Ring post. Derek says, "Oh fuck!" I see him looking like, "Yeah, I grabbed my microphone." Denim drops my microphone.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's getting attacked. What do you think? He's going to save your microphone?
He should at least toss it on the grass. No, I'm just kidding.
Save your microphone? He's got a hand coming towards him.
I see my microphone go like this. My life flashed before my eyes. And then I seen Devin get slammed. I'm like, oh fuck. Then I see Derek drop like a motherfucker, roll out the ring. And then he's like, oh fuck. So he jumps back in the line of fire like a doofus. Grabs my microphone. You should have left that motherfucker. Fuck that.
Well, I seen it. Well, at that
Grabs my microphone up, slides back out.
At that point, I'm just reacting off of instinct. My instinct, I seen the microphone, I'm like, I gotta get it.
No, I look back over. Dennis is there fucking holding his head after he got his fucking head slammed by the masked guy. Piece of shit. You interrupted the fucking inductee. You're just mad because you ain't in the Double D Podcast Hall of Fame.
I don't think that's
what it is. And then Ledbetter's behind it. Mm-hmm. But it was pretty cool actually, and it's as fast as I've ever seen you move. I'm kind of impressed.
I want to make this very
give a
clear.
hand for him.
Thank you. I want to make this very clear. All right, I don't know who this masked man is. We've been searching. We've been trying our best to figure out who it is.
I know who it is.
And let me tell you something.
Well, I don't know, but I know. I have.
Let me tell you something.
Great feeling who it is.
Whoever it is, I'm rooting against you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I was not in any dangerous way because I was not
Daxie,
the target.
I'm rooting against you too, Daxie.
I wasn't the target, but let me tell you something. Whoever it may be,
I'm convinced it's Daxie Taxi.
we'll get to that later. But
I'm convinced.
Whoever it is,
We're at 29.
whoever it is, you are on our radar now. We're looking harder than we
Yeah.
ever have before.
And bet your ass, I'm gonna take this microphone and shove that sun
You hear
down
me?
where the sun
Mask
don't
man.
shine, old son.
You don't want to come on the podcast. You don't want this heat. All right, I might have got out of the ring. I might got out of the ring fast, but let me tell you something. And keep it rolling. I don't care if there's only 30 seconds left. Let me tell you something. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Next
find out
time,
who it is.
It ain't gonna be easy.
You think the search was hard the first time? Let me tell you something. Search is gonna get harder. You understand? Search is gonna get harder now. You see this weapon? We made this weapon for something completely different, but we will use it on you now.
It's not
We're
gonna
coming
hurt.
prepared. We're coming prepared, which we'll get to in a second. But whoever it is, I'm looking for you. We're gonna find you, and this is going to be the end of your masked reign. All
We're
right?
gonna dog your ass.
We're going to find who it is, and we are going to take care of business before anybody else can. Not just because of my life being in danger, but because you've been infecting them. I'm coming for you, masked man. I don't need to hear it anymore. I'm sick and tired.
Alright, we back. You good, Cupcake?
Sorry, I apologize to everybody. I lost my cool there.
No, I fuck Mask Man.
I'll try not to lose my cool again.
Darren random shit. Just ignore me.
Now my neighbors are going to think.
Haha!
Now my neighbors think.
Happy New Year!
Now my neighbors think there was a gunshot.
Dude, that smelled good as fuck though.
It did,
That
though.
steam.
It did.
That smelled good as shit.
That made me a little happier. All right.
But now, Mask Man, we are going to find you. And when we do, it's not going to be pretty. Because I'm going to hold you. Derek's going to hold you. And we're going to let Denim beat the shit out of you. Even though we really don't need to hold him. But it would just be funny to hold him when he beats the living shit out of him.
Yeah, this is
It's a little payback for that Ledbetter match that Denim should have won.
Yep,
And
ruining
Ledbetter's little informant
and not just and it's
had
not
to
just,
intervene.
it's not just about his Hall of Fame induction either. It's about like he was making announcements, like I said, which we'll get to it later because I don't want to mess it up. But
Yeah.
and he messed it all up. He just always gets in Denim's way. And he needs to be
Fucked it
taken
up.
care of. But let's move on.
And we know we don't know, but we have a sneaking suspicion
It's gotta move on.
that he is working for Mr. Ledbetter.
We gotta move on. Okay, let's move
But
on.
hold on, let's go back to the award ceremony. So I thought Carson Drake was going to come in with his wee woo thing.
Well, he might have been planning on it.
I legit thought that, but
He might have been planning on it, but the masked man, intervened before.
I thought Carson Drake was going to say fuck it, and just
He might have
be a
been.
complete ass, but then Masked Man just fucked it all.
He might have been getting ready, and then the masked man just intervened
just
fast.
happened to appear
Yeah.
mysteriously again. The
So-
security chase team could not catch him. Security team, come on!
Come on!
You need to turn to Usain Bolt, catch his ass. That's his name, right?
Yeah, you can say it. All right, let's move on though, because we have some matches left. We don't want to take much more of your time. So we're gonna try to
All your time here at the Double D Podcast, baby.
So we
You
have,
love spending time with us.
that's a strong word.
You
Love.
put your pants on, makes you want to go. Oh, yeah. Watching Double D Podcast. Moving to grooving the Double D's. You know what I mean?
Army of Destiny and DD Trash is the next match. Very excited.
Another fantastic match.
Very excited for this match. I love tag team wrestling, so I was very excited. I've never seen DD Trash live, so it was very.
I haven't either.
And I apologize. We have been saying DDT Trash the whole time.
But that's how it was put on the Facebook.
Yeah, but I think that was just because you're not supposed to pronounce. You're not supposed to pronounce one of them.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's the whole thing.
DD Trash.
Yeah.
They
So-
also have a YouTube you can check them out at.
They do. So behind this, the fans are 100% behind DD Trash.
Yes.
I mean 100%. There's no doubt about it. And I just want to point this out. We've already said it before, but this was just what I wrote down after what happened. I wrote down Ledbetter knows something about Man in the Mask. I have this sneaking suspicion. It seems like anytime he's mentioned, he comes out. Like, I mean, at the Aurora show, he said that he did not know who it was, and then he told them to get out of the ring. Then he cheated, put it in our suggestion box. Now,
Yeah.
his match just happens to be right after the Masked Man. I just don't think it's a coincidence.
Just so you know a little better, I keep a camera in our suggestion box now.
Yeah,
Just because of you.
Yeah.
You ain't throwing us, the Double D podcast, under the bus for that.
Yeah, we had no idea that was going to happen.
No, I'm just kidding. I can keep a camera in. I probably should, but
So the crowd is, like I said, that they're 100% behind DD Trash. I'm rooting for DD
damn,
Trash.
let's
Everybody's
revert
rooting for DD
back
Trash.
real quick. God dang, that friggin' W works really well.
The W
I'm
does
fucking amped.
The note taking was a
Sorry.
little hard at this point because I'm still kind of shaken up from what was going on in the ring.
This was just a fantastic match too.
It was.
So it's kind of hard I feel bad for him because he's got to pay attention to writing notes and the match at the same time, and it's a little difficult, especially when there's a fantastic match going on
Yeah.
right in front of your face,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there trying to look at your notes, writing your notes down, but also trying to watch a match. I couldn't even do it.
And I got to ring the bell.
I am too ADHD to be even tried to attempt that.
Well,
So
I try my best. That's why the notes, honestly, like with live shows, are a little bit harder than like when we did Cincy Wrestling. I was able to watch it and then like stop it and then do more note taking. But like I said, I do like the idea of doing these live notes because you can see what was going on in my head immediately at that time, and then it leaves you in suspense. You don't know exactly what happened.
yeah, and then the one-page notes. Like
Yeah, I try to keep it all on one page.
This shows that it was a good overall show, because usually this motherfucker's over here flipping through 9 fucking pages.
Yeah.
But the fact that he kept it to 1 page
I was trying to keep as much action.
means that he was paying attention because it was such a good show, but also trying to keep notes at the same time. I couldn't even imagine being able to do that. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
it's a good
I guess I'm
thing
gonna
we
be-
used the note guy.
Because I'm going to be the second inductee into the Hall of Fame.
You know, W podcast members not be inducted into
Back to the
Hall of Fame.
match.
A little bit of disclaimer.
I know you're high on W, but let's calm down.
I was just explaining to him
I
that we
know.
don't
I'm
induct
fuck-
ourselves in the W podcast.
I'm
Hall of
messing-
Fame,
I'm
motherfucker.
messing with
What's
you.
that shirt say?
We'll talk about it after. It's
Because I really want to know
it's a
what it
political
is.
shirt, so there's no point.
Oh,
No,
then
no,
yeah,
no, no.
don't get on the W podcast.
They're taking targets. I'm a little shaken up. Plus, the match was great. It is true.
Fantastic match.
DD Trash was starting to get some offense in, but then the big old Craven stopped it. He's a big guy,
A big guy.
and he has the power to be able to do that.
Mind you, Ledbetter's a big guy too. So you got 2 big guys going against 2, like, what do you think, medium build?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely wrestling built,
Yeah, but they're like
but they're not as big as Craven.
you got the heavyweights against like the medium to heavy weights.
Yeah, I mean, there's a size difference.
Them 2 are fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, Ledbetter's a big guy.
Ledbetter's tall too. Yeah.
And Craven's
He's
a big guy.
Craven's a big guy.
So, I mean-
I wouldn't want to be in the ring with any 4 of them, but yeah.
I wouldn't be in the ring with any
you're
of
not-
them.
you're not.
But yeah, between the 2, you got like a medium to large to extra large build to extra large to almost super extra.
Oh my god. Okay. So
I'm just giving them a perspective, especially if you weren't there.
right. Ref's back being turned definitely was helping the Army of Destiny. 100%.
Yes.
I mean, there was no doubt about it. That's kind of what they do. It's what they do best. They
The
use
assistance they need.
underhanded tactics in order to get the win. Craven's shoulder ended up going into the post, much like Party Mike's earlier on. Craven had a huge chop. I even circled huge because it was so loud it echoed throughout the whole building. I mean, it really was. It was really loud. I feel bad for. I also apologize for not getting the DD Trash members' names. I heard them when you came out. I just was shaken up still after that, and it just wasn't. What
This was just an exciting match too. I mean, we see a matchup that the 2 guys we haven't seen before.
yeah.
So we're like these are new guys going against the Army of Destiny, and I had a feeling that it was going to be a very quick match.
And it wasn't. It wasn't.
But it wasn't at all. It was actually long.
At this point, it was a great match with action back and forth. That's what I wrote here. And Craven accidentally hit Ledbetter, and that was kind of the moment where I thought, "Holy crap, DD Trash is about to get a win," which I want 100%. And I'm not saying that wouldn't be an upset. I don't think it feels like DD Trash is a tag team who've been probably wrestling together for
It's not
years.
an upset because Ledbetter and the Army of Destiny can only win
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
when there's a extra hand being thrown.
Yeah. Well, that's
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that doesn't happen later. After that, though, DD Trash was on the offensive. They were able to get a pin, and it was going to be a 3, but Ledbetter pulled the referee out of the ring when he was coming down for 3, so it was only a 2 count. And because of that, Ledbetter was able to use a chair and win the match based off of that. So
That's the
Army of
extra
Destiny
hand.
did get a win. Yeah, Army of
The
Destiny-
extra hand.
Army of Destiny did get a win in this matchup, unfortunately for us and unfortunately for everybody.
Not fairly.
No, of course not. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Army of Destiny did get the win, though.
Still
And
fantastic.
Afterwards, Ledbetter then called out Denim. Now, this is where things kind of got serious. I want to pull out my notes here because...
I said, this shit gets hits the fan.
So this is basically, he proposed an option. He said, I don't know who the Masked Man is. I have no idea. I don't want to...
He's lying.
I want to make that very clear. Denim said, I don't believe you either. I think you know who the Masked Man is. And so there was a match proposed by Army of Destiny.
Yep.
It's going to be Team Army of Destiny against Team Battle on the Border.
But the team of Army of Destiny
Is going to
consists
consist
of
of...
Sergeant Ledbetter,
Yeah,
Craven,
yeah,
and Bomani, right?
yeah.
And the Masked Man.
Masked Man had to be the 4th
Yep.
member.
Had
That's what
to
Denim
be.
said. Even though Ledbetter says he doesn't know who it is, he said, I'm going
Has
to
to
be.
be.
We'll find him, I guess.
So he better talk to the Masked Man.
If he doesn't
Figure
know
it out.
who, yeah, I was gonna say if he doesn't know who it is, he better get in contact with him. Which, if I swear to God, if he doesn't know who he is and somehow gets in contact with him before we
That's
do,
going to be a little bit more
it's
suspicious
gonna be
even.
actually a little bit more embarrassing for us than anything. But anyway, here's the situation. So if Team
Yeah, we're letting
Battle
Airhead
on the
figure out who he is before we can. Well, we ain't much smarter, so that's okay.
if Team Battle on the Border wins,
Yes.
Army of Destiny is done. They can no longer team together
Big
in Battle
challenge.
on the Border.
Big
However,
challenge.
if Army of Destiny wins, Sergeant Ledbetter takes over Battle on the Border.
Big
So this match
challenge.
has huge implications. We'll get to when that takes place later, but that is going to take place.
And if it's
And now Denim has to put together a
his
team.
yeah,
Has to put together a squad.
As soon as we find out the team through the brigade, if you don't follow the brigade or Battle on the Border Facebook,
Yeah.
I mean, you won't find out unless you come through us. But we would like you to find out before we come on here and tell you who it is by
Yes.
following their page.
Yeah, 100%.
Just saying.
So now the Zero Gravity tournament finale is on.
Super excited. I was stoked for this the whole night.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the high flying stuff. I love the smaller guys.
That's
It's
just Carson Drake. But yeah.
Just personally, it's just always been something. So just a reminder, I said it earlier, but I'll say it again just to make sure everyone knows. Drake, Piper, GK Fam, Avery Hertz, Jaden Jet, Justin Xavier, that's who's in this matchup. I want to make that very clear. Carson Drake comes out first, called a fan fat, which is kind of ironic.
Kind of right, because he's pretty fat himself. So
He said that he weighed 226 pounds, but then immediately claimed that he was 196 because he, I guess, remembered the rules of the match.
I'm surprised he remembered.
I'm surprised too. I mean, but
I figured his old would have forgot.
yeah, well, he somehow remembered.
And he picked out some snazzy new boots.
Yeah, he was very proud of his boots.
Thinks he's a little fancy.
Jaden
I
Jet.
thought they looked like shit.
Jaden Jet. Later on, when Jaden Jet came out, he scared the shit out of the kid. He was walking past the kid. He did his little jump, and the kid scared the shit out of
Scared
this
the
kid.
fuck out of
Which
him.
we shouldn't be laughing at, but
This is
well,
funny
it
as
was-
hell.
whoever that kid is, hope you're doing all right.
I hope he didn't have
And
a
Jaden
heart
Jet, you're a
attack.
piece of shit for scaring a kid. Carson was trash talking all of them while he was in the ring once the match started. Just trash talking all of them, of course. And then
Except
he-
for J Jet.
yeah, well, he even trash talked Jaden Jet at some point. I mean, he was teaming with him at first,
I
kind of
thought
saying
they were in
team
cahoots.
together. But no, he even trash talked Jaden Jet a little bit.
I must
So-
have been looking at my pewter when that happened.
probably.
I don't remember it.
And then he eventually asked Piper about something about prison. I think asking him if he got his boots from prison or something, and that's kind of when it started. Piper started off with the offense, and then everybody got around at Carson Drake.
Oh yeah, everybody took around. I would have took around.
Yeah, this was the match that I was most looking forward to. This match, by the way, is extremely hard to keep track of everything that happens and write notes and watch at the same time. So there's a little bit less that I actually wrote down about the match, but I wrote down some of the bigger moments that happened as far as, especially who won, but also just like.
That's because there's a lot going on.
There is, and this was a match that if you didn't get to see it live, we're not going to be able to do it justice. Apologies, but you have to watch this match.
No apologies. You should have just been there.
You should have been there. That is true.
Unless you come up with a formal excuse, you should have been there.
At some point throughout the match,
$10. $10.
At some point throughout the match, Piper grabbed Carson Drake's microphone and turned the siren on and was just running around the ring for a couple of minutes, which was pretty funny. I know Carson Drake does not like
he hates
when
people
take
touch his microphone.
So that was very interesting. There was a low blow made by Carson twice. Typical of Carson Drake. Not surprised somehow. The ref started fighting back against Carson Drake at some point, actually pushing Carson Drake because of not just the low blows, but he was also starting to get in the ref's face and stuff. The ref was trying to get into his face, and then eventually the referee fought back. Here's the main point, though. Okay, our boy Avery Hurts. Big fan of Avery Hurts over here on this podcast.
Avery Hurts.
We talk a lot of good stuff about him.
The best wrestler battle on the border.
Is that, especially for the Zero Gravity Show, like I said earlier, if we're talking about people who actually deserve to win it because they've been in it for a long time, Avery Hurts
gets the W.
We're rooting for Justin Xavier, selfishly. We're rooting, yeah. Come on. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious. He should get the W.
But anyway, we're big fans over here of him, so we're a little bit biased here. But he did get screwed over in this matchup, as, again, it seems per usual with these people. And Jaden Jett was able to get a victory. He is the first ever Zero Gravity champion, and he did so by screwing Avery Hurts.
I'd say, mind you, Jaden Jett was chilling, and then Avery Hurts was doing a number.
Yeah.
And then Jaden Jett just conveniently swoops in and steals it away from him, which is bullshit.
And it is, and don't worry, Hurts knew it was too. Hurts chased Jaden Jett out of the building.
Oh yeah, he was going after him.
He ran after him. I mean, there was very little celebration time for Jaden Jett. Very little celebration time.
We talked to him a little bit after, and he said he would still be chasing him.
Yeah.
Had he not got away.
Hurts ended up coming in a little bit later on asking where he was. I mean, he just lost track of him. So I'm sure we're going to get to see something about this in the future.
Oh, it's got to be.
I would love to see
bullshit.
a match between these two, but I got to tell you, congratulations to Jaden Jett and all for winning. But it's just Avery Hurts got screwed.
I've never been so pissed off in a match in my life.
It was. I was really rooting for Avery Hurts or Justin Xavier, one of the two.
And he was about to get the W too.
Yeah,
Avery Hurts was like this close, and Jaden Jett was like, "Fuck you."
It's unjust, and we won't stand for it on this.
It's bullshit.
So, and hopefully, I'm not going to reveal who it is, but eventually we do have an interview upcoming here soon.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's maybe in the next month.
We don't know when or who or where, but we know who, but we don't tell you
we know who, but we don't know when. We know where.
Does the people in Whoville tell you who?
Yeah.
Well, then we're not telling you who.
Anyway, let's move on because I'm trying to get this all done. At least before the 30-minute part comes
Yeah,
up.
but this one is a good one.
This match we were looking forward to a lot for a lot of reasons. I mean, originally when I seen it, it was a fan appreciation match, and I was thinking, like, that's weird because these two are completely different styles. We interviewed Steve Wilson, the man behind Congo Kong. We asked him about this match. It is, of course, two fan favorites, Congo Kong and Super Oprah. Absolutely. As the night was going on, like, once this match started, like, when Congo Kong made his entrance, I was really excited for this match. Like, it's not that I wasn't before, but I just, like, because all of the matches have been so good all night, I was really looking forward to this match. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So once this match started, I was really into it. I wrote a lot down here.
And mind you, we haven't seen Super Oprah wrestle in a long while. So that was awesome, too, to be able to see Super Oprah get out there and do what Super Oprah does.
I'm going to say that, in my opinion, this match or the Cantina Surge match are the two top matches of the night, in my opinion. And that's not saying any of the other matches weren't good. Every match was good. But, man, this match and the Surge and Katina match, those were the two top matches, in my opinion. This match was just unbelievably entertaining. There was so much that happened. And I don't know if we're ever going to get to see these two in the ring against each other.
I hope so.
In the future, I hope so
I really hope so.
Because, man, this match was really entertaining. I mean, it really was. I remember looking over at Darren, and I told Darren, I was like, oh, this is fucking great. Like,
yeah, I really hope to see them again.
So, it started off by Congo Kong coming out first. And I want to say, I say this every single time Congo Kong wrestles. Congo Kong scares children. His size, like every single time he makes an entrance,
He scares me.
Congo Kong, he's a big dude.
He's fucking huge.
So every time Congo Kong makes his entrance, kids run over because they just want to get to see the size of him, and they immediately regret it when he walks out. Because you can see, I've seen the look on these kids' faces because there were some that were facing us. He walked. These kids are coming up because they know Congo Kong coming up. They're like, "Oh, this is exciting!" And then as soon as he comes out, they're just like, "Oh, he's bigger than I thought."
You see kids like,
oh man, I didn't think I'd have to fucking crank my neck like this. So that was the one thing. I plugged our interview. I said, watch our interview with Steve Wilson here. I plugged it. Man behind Congo Kong.
check the interview. Man behind Congo Kong.
Yeah, Spectre eventually ends up getting the microphone because of course he does. And you know,
I usually expect Spectre to take over the
yeah, we feel a certain way about Spectre here. Darren has a very hatred's a strong word, but
because he's an ass.
He's kind of
he is an ass.
He's kind of a jerk.
I said that numerous times. I said, what was that last episode we did when Spectre took over? I said I estimated that Spectre was going to take the microphone because he's an ass.
Yeah, and that's exactly
and
what
that
happened.
was the same way this time.
And he was still kind of, being an ass.
Still an ass.
Spectre called Cleves hillbilly, which, I mean, I could be taken as a compliment.
That's coming from a dude that don't even have a good beard.
Spectre?
Yeah, his beard is different colors.
Well, yeah, it's kind of cool, actually.
He ain't got cool beard. You got a good beard.
He then mentions Madman Fulton being a part of Spectre Enterprises, and he said that Madman Fulton refused to travel to Cleves because of the bad-smelling insectoid fans. So you see now why maybe we don't
think he's an insectoid.
we see now why we're not a huge fans over here of David Barnes Spectre.
He dissing homelands.
He called Denham a namby-pamby, which
I don't even know what a namby-pamby is.
Look that up. Let's real quick.
Google that, because I have
say,
let's just namby-pamby. I don't even know how to spell that.
Well, we're about to find out.
Namby-pamby.
Lacking energy, strength, or courage, feeble, timid, or ineffectual. Damn.
That's coming from a person that would never probably step in the ring with Denham. Unless I stepped in the ring with him twice.
I just heard namby-pamby and thought that was cool, and I wrote it down.
I've never heard of that before.
He then congratulated Jaden Jett on his win. Interesting. Something
I
that
wonder if he's going to be joining Spectre.
It's definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on because that is an interesting choice. David Barnes Spectre just doesn't congratulate people often, and he did congratulate Jaden Jett, so that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on in the future. Maybe he's trying to, Spectre Enterprises, maybe he's trying to grow the Enterprises to not just a tag team. I mean, you have the tag team now of Congo Kong and Madman Fulton. It was Madman Fulton as world champion. So now they're moving into the tag team realm. Maybe they're trying to get a Zero Gravity. Who knows? Maybe we could see a Hardcore, a woman. Maybe we could see maybe David Barnes Spectre is trying to take over Battle on the Border.
I mean, it would make sense considering he calls it an enterprise.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So
it's
maybe he's getting his recruits in.
It is something that we are going to have to keep an eye on. Now,
and unfortunately, we did not get to see the fantastic Bobby Fulton.
No, he was not there tonight. Which
again
sucks,
but it's okay.
If you're watching, listening, book it. Bobby Fantastic Fulton.
Fantastic Bobby Fulton.
I said that against David Barnabas Spectre. Book it. Fan appreciation match.
Yes.
It would be easy.
But if Spectre hurts a fantastic Bobby Fulton, probably kill him.
He wouldn't get a chance. It would be a 10-second match. You put him in a hole to be over. So at this point, Super Oprah has made her entrance to the ring, and then he made a joke.
This is bullshit. The entrance.
Spectre made the entrance was fine. What are you talking about? Spectre made a joke though about Ike and Tina Turner. So if you know the story behind Ike and Tina Turner, you can kind of understand that he was basically saying that Congo Kong was going to beat Super Oprah like Ike did Tina. It was basically the idea behind it, which is just, that's ruthless and rude.
And mind you, Super Oprah wanted me to drop some tunes.
Well, hold on, we're not there yet. So
we're not saying she wanted me to drop some tunes.
We're not there yet, man. You're getting ahead of the story. So
I'm excited for this.
This
is a good match.
I said earlier, just a couple seconds ago, that Super Oprah had made her entrance. I was reading ahead. She had not made her entrance yet. Now Super Oprah's making her entrance. She gave a fan a lap dance.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to the fan.
I probably should have got an autograph afterwards. recording.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
I
I don't know if Fan was wanting a lap dance, but Fan got one,
They
so
didn't say no.
cheers.
Cheers.
So, next thing I write down here is that ref got a face full of Oprah crotch because, see, Oprah wanted Congo Kong searched for weapons. Understandable. David Barnabas, Spectre Enterprises. I mean, Spectre Enterprises, they could use some underhanded
They're a little
moves.
skeptical.
They have before. In fact, Congo Kong, when he joined Spectre Enterprises, was given a chain. So it's very understandable why he'd want to. Right, so it's very understandable. Well, then Super Oprah wanted to get searched as well, and so she jumped up on the turnbuckle there, that top turnbuckle, and then just
spread them some
and then push the ref in there.
Mind you, Super Oprah is very flexible. They were on both fucking
Super Oprah is very flexible.
Did you not see her?
That's quote of the day right
It was,
there.
she was up there, both legs on each side of the friggin'
Yeah.
What are those little things called that goes around?
What? The ropes?
The ropes, that's it. I had a mind fuck.
You can remember what the ropes were called.
Both legs on the ropes.
Yep. So fans love Oprah.
Oprah's a fantastic wrestler.
Oh man,
And she's funnier now.
I don't know if there's anybody else funnier in the world.
There is
than
not.
Super Oprah.
Super Oprah is
unbelievably funny.
If you want to get a really, really good laugh, Super Oprah is the one to provide it.
Yeah, that's why Super Oprah needs to be on every Battle on the Border show.
And every WD podcast show possible.
Yeah, so Oprah was trying to at first to seduce Congo Kong, which is an interesting tactic. Actually, not a terrible tactic to start with, because who knows, maybe that would be a good way to win the match early.
Yeah.
I actually even wrote down match of the night right after this. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. After this moment, it gets a little bit hard because I was paying attention to the match. But I did write down some of the big moves. I don't know what that word says, so I'm not. What is that? What could that even say? Sparv?
Titty?
No, not that one. This one. Don't ruin the story. Sparv?
Spain?
Spain? I don't know. Anyway, here's the point.
Spine?
It was a good offense here by Super Oprah.
Worse than mine.
Well, I'm trying to be fast and look up. There was a titty twister on Congo Kong. Now, I am imagining Congo Kong has probably never had this happen to him in a match. This is uncharted waters for Congo Kong in a lot of ways. Yeah, very.
If I was Congo, that would have pissed me off.
Oh, it did. It definitely did. But Congo doesn't know. So eventually, Spectre does end up getting involved. Twice.
Obviously.
Stands up on the apron. He's distracting the referee.
That's pretty obvious.
At this point, Congo Kong starts to, because of that, Congo Kong ends up getting him back onto the offense and has enough offense where he wants to go for a pin on Super Oprah.
But he's confused.
But he's a little confused. He doesn't want to.
You don't know how.
He doesn't want to be rude. I mean,
Trying to respect.
I know he's trying to win, but listen, he's trying to be respectful, which I appreciate. Congo Kong. We need more people like that.
Yes.
So after that, at some point, the action gets back going, and they're trading some blows. They're getting some moves in both, and then at some point, Congo Kong grabs the hair of Super Oprah, and it comes off.
Ooh.
And to quote Super Oprah, "You never touch a black woman's weave." And
that's actually what she said.
Well, it could have been wig. Sorry, it could have been wig. I don't know. One of the two. Wig, weave.
It was something.
It was loud.
Super Oprah was pissed.
She
was pissed.
That's what I just said. Oprah goes wild. That's what I said here.
It should have been Oprah goes hog wild.
Yeah.
She was pissed.
Yep. And then at some point, after this, he's getting a lot of offense in. Super was getting a lot of offense in. At this point, though, Spectre jumps up onto the rope, and Super Oprah just kisses him. That's effective offense right there, if I've ever seen it.
And whatever works.
And then after that point, he's in the ring and he's up against the turnbuckles and gets a face full of booty. So Spectre at this point has been eliminated from the match. I mean, he's down for the count. I mean, he
wanted to throw the shit, so she gave it back.
I mean, he did absolutely. She absolutely.
I mean, he's gonna throw some shit and then she's gonna give it back.
Yep.
Super Oprah ain't scared of nobody.
But because of this distraction, it gave Congo Kong enough time to reboot, revamp, get ready, and plan his attack. And because of that, Congo Kong did get the victory after a big headbutt. There was also another move in there, but again, I was watching, I didn't really get it down. Point of the moral of the story is, though, is that Congo Kong did get the victory, but Yeah, which again, selfishly, we did interview Steve Wilson, so we're kind of reading.
Yeah.
But I will say
Kind
this.
of prejudice on that.
This is either one or two match of the night. And we don't usually have two. Usually, once we see the match of the night, we're done thinking about it.
Yeah.
This had two of them. And this one, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for pure wrestling ability, Katina and Serge are yours.
Funny ass motherfucker.
If you're looking for fun, entertaining, and good wrestling too,
Yes.
both matches had both. To be completely honest with you, I think that's why they're the number two, because they had all the elements of possible wrestling. Both matches the fans are super engaged in. You can always tell when you're at a Battle on the Border event what the good matches are, because man, the fans are super into it. They're into every match, but there is no doubt in anybody's mind at Battle on the Border, there's a match that the fans really love. They're into it.
And mind you, we haven't seen Super Over wrestle in a long time, so the fans were super stoked
Yep.
to see her out there again.
Yep. And after this match, Congo Kong ended up attacking the referee after the match, which is just uncalled for. But again, I think he was more kind of just, I think him and Spectre were kind of both just embarrassed about how this match played out. I'm sure Spectre was a little bit embarrassed about Faithful Booty
Well, Spectre should be embarrassed in general.
and getting
He
the
can't
kiss.
win unless he-
The referee, I think it was just, he was kind of collateral
I don't know how I
damage.
feel about them.
But the point of the story is, moral of the story is Congo Kong did get the victory in this matchup, unfortunately, for Super Oprah. But let me tell you what, Super Oprah, Congo Kong, excited to see Super Oprah back. Cannot wait to see what, and when we'll get to Congo Kong, there's been a match announced in the future for Congo Kong. We'll get to that in a second.
And I'm hoping to see bigger and better things out of Super Oprah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
She's back, and I'm hoping she sticks around for a very long time.
Again, unbelievable entertainment. I cannot recommend enough.
I
Battle
did
on the
miss Super Oprah a lot.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, I guess we're going to take another break before we get to the main event of the night, so we will see you in a second.
Hi
I
guys.
don't know why we wave in the video. It just cuts right to us. In the audio, I get it because there's a break, but there's not a break. Oh, we're going straight to it, huh? You want me to say?
And we're back.
Oh, we're back already.
Yeah, we ain't fucking around this time.
Darren just
We
does
have the main event.
The main
of
event.
Battle on the
A
Border.
match that when it was-
Professional wrestling.
a match that when it was announced, we were super excited for it.
Yes.
Because we were supposed to be at Cincy Wrestling to see Savion wrestle.
Yes.
This 12-year-old girl doesn't have a good immune system. So, well, excuse you, has a bad immune system, got sick, possibly could have got me sick, couldn't go. So we missed being a part of the Savion section. But we get to see it now.
He ain't part of Savion section. He ain't got no shirt.
I got a shirt, it's just I don't have it on. You don't need to
Tell
know.
Savion that.
I did.
You weren't wearing a Battle on the Border?
I was wearing the Double D podcast stuff. I gotta
But
see.
you said you were the leader of the
If we went
Savion
to- if
section.
you didn't get sick with the flu, fucking get sick
Either
with the
way,
flu.
we interviewed Savion.
We did. Go
on
check
the
it out.
podcast.
Go check it out.
Really good
You know, we
interview.
haven't interviewed Brian Pillman, so we're obviously rooting for Savion during this match.
Oh yeah,
Just
Savion,
pointing it out.
100%. Even though Brian Pillman's got alright hair, not a better mullet than him, but he's got alright hair.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny because I've had people tell me that I have a nice mullet, or some have even said better than Brian Pillman. But
Because-
the same exact day that Battle on the Border on the 31st on New Year's Eve, my mom called me and told me that I need to grow my hair like Brian Pillman. So it's kind of funny.
That's
It's
just
kinda
his
too-
mom got the hots for Brian Pillman.
Maybe. I mean, my ex did, so it's very possible.
I don't know why.
I don't either, but it is what it is.
I think his mullet looks better anyways. So.
So we finally, I even wrote down first thing, finally get to represent the Savion section. It's been an honor. But it was an honor to represent the Savion section. I have to promote the Battle on the Border. I said
You were
no.
wearing a Double E podcast. What are you promoting Battle on the Border?
I'm sorry, I meant WD podcast. I had to promote the WD
This fucking guy. I was wearing a Double D podcast shirt.
So was I. That's why I had to wear it.
You could have wore your Savion section.
No, I'm a part of the. I was presenting an award. I had to support it.
You were in the middle of the twang.
Yeah, I had to support it.
You were in the middle of the twang.
I was doing a lot of this real quick, not trying to get super off track, but I was doing a lot of this because I've never been in a ring before, and I'm
Not
not.
on track this whole episode. What are you talking about?
I'm good at public speaking ish enough. Like I did a best man speech where I was extremely nervous.
Found out I'm better at public speaking than he is.
No, I do good at public speaking, but like the wedding, I was super nervous. This one,
I'm better
actually,
at
to
public
be completely
speaking.
fair, I wasn't as nervous for this and this was not planned, and I wasn't even as nervous as I was for my best man speech. So I just want to point that out. But
I announced that whole wedding.
Yeah, but well, yeah, you have a lot more experience for it. This one I wasn't as nervous
Fair
about.
enough,
I've
fair
never been in a ring before, so doing the so I was in there and I knew I had to like turn to see the crowd. So I was doing a lot of this, just a lot of fucking turning around and doing this whole thing. So I got a little dizzy, but you know we made it work. I did a lot of turning around though.
Mind you, he looked a little bit.
I was trying to see everybody.
No, he turned out. He did a fantastic job.
I don't know what got us onto that, but I just wanted to point that out. Just in case anybody was wondering why the dude was doing fucking twirls in the ring.
He did a fantastic job. He made a point to make sure that he talked to everybody in like all sections of the crowd. It was a fantastic presentation.
Yeah,
You did a great job, man.
Okay, thanks. I
Put a
wasn't
pat
asking
on the
for a
back.
pat on the back.
You're getting all right.
Did you see me flinch? That man in the mask has got me
I
fucked
don't
up.
even know. I wasn't going to hit you. I was just going to do a pat on the back. That's good. That's good.
The man in the mask has got me fucked up.
No, he
All
did. Derek, don't let him
Down.
lower himself. He did a fantastic
I
job
appreciate it.
and cracked some pretty good jokes and moved as fast as fucking lightning. Fastest I've ever seen this man move, and I've known him for 16 years. So that's the fastest I've ever seen him move.
To start out, I mean, I thought when this match was going to come on, I mean, both are local boys, right? Both are local. Brian Pillman Jr. He's I think he calls himself the Prince of the Queen City, Prince of Cincinnati, something along those lines. So it's obvious. I mean, everybody knows his story, so it makes sense. Savion though, also very very popular around here. So it was interesting to see where the crowd was going to go, and I was thinking it was going to be about 50-50, but it wasn't.
Nope.
It was very very largely in the direction of Savion, which just proves the power that this guy has.
And that's crazy because Brian Pillman is from the Cleves area.
That's what I'm saying. It was really, really
That's
shocking.
crazy.
But it's not as shocking once you hear what was going on, okay? Because the match really does set the tone. I think 50-50 was 50-50 to start the match. But it wasn't because I think the fans could pick up on a couple things here. Like, Pillman was really toying with Savion. He was kind of just pushing him around, kind of treating him like he wasn't. And he did cut a promo about On the Border Pro Wrestling's Facebook page. If you go check it out. He was a little bit rude to Savion.
Brian Pillman kind of looked like a little girl compared to Savion.
Whoa. It's been said.
And that's
He said it on
That's an AEW star right
He
there.
said it on me.
That's the kahunas on this motherfucker.
So Pillman was toying with Savion, and then Pillman crossed his fingers on a handshake promise that they were making in the ring, and all the fans were trying to point it out. And it didn't work. Savion didn't hear you guys. Unlike, see me, I am not used to being in the ring, so I listen to the crowd. When you're used to being in the ring, you tone them out because either you're getting cheered for or you're getting...
Or you got to focus on the main subject.
Yeah, and you're focusing on somebody else in the ring, so they don't get to hear it. So unfortunately, they didn't get to hear it, and because of that, Pillman, he was just being mean to the crowd. He was being mean to Savion. It seemed like he wasn't
He
taking
turned
this
into a heel fast.
Yeah, he was fucking...
Really fast.
To being an ass. Yeah, I don't like this side of Pillman.
Usually he's like uppity.
I was going to say, this side of
Not
Pillman,
this one.
he's got this little edge about him, and I got to tell you.
Maybe it was the AEW appearance, the WWE appearance.
Maybe.
That could have been a factor.
It could be,
of the
but I think a lot of what it
But
has to
I
do,
don't know.
I think that title's getting to Pillman's head. You know, you're
I
champion
think he's
for,
getting a little too cocky.
for long enough. I think he might be. It seemed like
a little too cocky.
kind of seemed like it to me. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to put myself in Pillman's, but from one Mullet brother to another, I can kind of tell when a Mullet brother's getting a little.
Little heads.
Little heads getting a little big, you know, a little bit too big for the mullet, if you will, or too big for the title in this case. Early on, back and forth action, crossbody by Savion from the top rope puts him back into the control here. Then Pillman, he was just wrestling angry. It's literally what I wrote down. He's wrestling angry. He's just a lot of moves that are just like done in there with a lot of power. It's almost like he just kind of expected this match to be quick and done with, and then get it over. Like he just
Little
did.
does he know.
Yeah, he just kind of seemed like he just kind of wanted to just get it done.
He ain't the pretty boy he thinks he is.
So at some point, Savion actually flew through the middle rope to hit Pillman on the outside. You don't get to see that often at these shows. So that was really impressive.
You
to
going
see.
for death?
I think
You going for
Savion,
death?
I think, was also picking up on the not taking him seriously thing. I think he's trying to show Pillman like, hey, listen, you gotta pay me respect, because they have fought before, and Savion actually has the victory edge over Brian Pillman.
Yeah, but Pillman's got that title.
He does.
So he stepped up in that ring. Like, his shit don't stink.
And Savion had
He
something.
thought
to
he
prove.
was top dog.
Savion wanted to prove, one, it's not a fluke, and two, I can be champion anywhere I go.
Exactly.
At this point, the crowd was fully behind Savion.
I'm rooting for Savion at this point.
I was as well. I mean, it was just a
not
shocker.
rooting for Pillman because he was being a dick.
It was a shocker. It really was. I mean, I did not expect it. Brian used the ropes on Savion earlier, like we said, where Savion was trying to get back in the ring, kick the rope, hurt his, crotch area. That's how it happened. At that point, Pillman started to threaten Savion's career. Said he was going to end his career. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is what this is like, I was saying.
This is going deep.
He was. I mean, I think it's possible that maybe Pillman is kind of a little bit embarrassed that he lost to Savion in the past, and he's kind of wrestling with that on his mind. Who knows?
Well, that only makes you lose.
Yeah, it does. When you're
let
wrestling
it bug you
emotionally,
that much.
yeah, when you're wrestling emotionally, it does get into your head.
Yeah, that messes with your head.
Yeah.
And that lowers your chances of winning, which is a terrible idea.
Yeah. And so when he was doing that, when he said he was going to end his career, he was taking his leg and he was driving his knee into the mat and driving his knee into the ring. And I got to tell you, the little bit that I got to when I hit the ground, that ring's tough, man. It hurts. That's what I've always heard about professional wrestling rings, is that they hurt. And I've never taken a bump. I've never fell in a wrestling ring. I only got to dive earlier on in the show.
Padding is like really small.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's what you're falling on fucking wood.
That's what people don't understand about. I don't know. I was gonna say, always hear wrestlers say this, like that's not a trampoline in there.
It's like the padding's like that big.
Yeah,
and then you're falling on fucking wood.
The damage that could have done to Savion's knee is unbelievable.
Yeah.
In fact, again, that Pillman's wrestling with that in his mind, where he's gonna ruin Savion's career. I mean, it's just a different side of Pillman we don't get to see. You know what I'm saying?
He was wrestling angry, and you don't want to wrestle angry.
Yeah, but at that point, then Savion did turn it around. He started his offense. I think his instincts kicked in. He knew that he needed to get going, otherwise things were going to get ugly fast.
Especially when getting his knee rammed into probably like the hardest ring ever.
Yeah. There's a nice little deadlift suplex by Savion at some points.
Textbook deadlift suplex.
Yeah, this high school wrestler.
Textbook.
This high school wrestler knows what's going on.
That looked fucking awesome, dude. That was like the best suplex I've ever seen a professional wrestler do.
And then there was a nice big super kick by Pillman that changed it into Pillman's favor again.
Also a fantastic super kick too.
I mean, you got.
There were two really good moves back to back.
Of course. Then there was a big. There was a close fall by Savion after a knee to the back of the head of Pillman. So, I mean, you can see going back and forth, big moves. I mean, I'm watching, writing down the big moves as I can.
Let's just say the knee to the back of the head, I feel like, should be considered a cheap shot.
No, it's not, though.
Another should be, is what I'm saying. I know it's not, but it should technically be. But
after that,
anyway.
there was another big super kick by Pillman. So, again, just back and forth. Another suplex from Pillman from the top rope. Definitely turned the match around, and at that point it was over. Pillman did get the victory.
But the suplex that Pillman did not look as good.
Here's the thing that I didn't mention,
saying.
because I wanted to end it with this. I wanted to make it very
close.
I wanted to make this very clear, is what I meant to say. So as the match is going on, a certain somebody comes out and is messing around. He has his golden ticket with him. And he's kind of messing around with the ring post, with the turnbuckle padding.
Yeah,
those who don't know, there's a padding over the turnbuckle, and so protects the wrestlers. Well, he took it off while the ref wasn't looking and exposed it. Savion, unfortunately, was the one who hit his head on it, and that caused Pillman to win. Now, Pillman had no idea this was going to happen, and we'll get to that in a second. But the guy I'm talking about, Sergeant Ledbetter, of course.
So I wonder if he's trying to recruit Pillman to the Army of Destiny.
I think more what it was is I think he was trying to make Pillman lose. So that he could cash in on Savion, because at that point Savion was in a little bit of, he was getting some offense in, but I mean
he was in a peduncle.
Okay.
Because Pillman was turned away.
So unfortunately, like I said, he had no idea.
He was turned completely backwards, and Savion was like right in front.
Yeah, he had no
idea.
idea.
He was injured. He was fuckered up.
Well, he wasn't injured, but yeah, I mean, he was. But
like
he was.
Neither one of them could pay attention to what was.
They had no idea. They had no idea. They had no idea Sergeant Ledbetter was doing
this.
this.
They had no clue what dipshit was
going on.
So
Savion hit his head onto the turnbuckle, and then there was a suit, and then it was over. But Pillman then, after the match was over, realized what had happened, and he was not happy about it. He said, "Look, I wanted to win, but I didn't want to win this way. This is ridiculous."
Well, he should have went out there like Ledbetter, and he would have been fine. He couldn't. Angry wrestle.
So afterwards, there was kind of this tense moment between the two. Going to be kind of interesting to see what happens here. Is Sergeant Ledbetter going to cash in his golden ticket opportunity to take on Brian Pillman in the future?
No one knows.
I don't remember exactly the day that he won, but I do know that you only have a year to cash in that golden ticket. So
which is not far.
Time is running out. So is he feeling a little bit desperate? I mean, we're going to get to see it here at one of the upcoming shows. I mean, it's very interesting to see.
The second time him and Denham wrestled, he had it still because he was trying to cash it on Denham.
Yeah, he just
But
won.
Denham accepted the challenge. So that was like the match, the show before he just won it, and then he tried to do it to Denham.
Yeah.
So he's only got like till the middle of the year to catch that.
So it's going to be interesting to see, but that is something that happened. And like I said, I know Pillman was kind of wrestling angry, but he didn't want to win this way.
No,
We've said a lot about Pillman here, but there's one thing about Pillman: he wants to win the right way.
He didn't want to lead better the match.
And after that, there was a hug of respect between Pillman and Savion. So it's very interesting to see where this goes. I hope we get to see Savion back. It was great to see him wrestle live. He's great. He gave Pillman a run for his money, man.
We'd love to have him back on the podcast too.
And let's be honest, if that exposed turnbuckle wouldn't have happened, I mean,
Savion could have won.
Match could have been completely different.
And Savion could have won had that turnbuckle not been padding not been removed.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. Will Sergeant Ledbetter cash in? Who knows? But here is one thing. I have more notes. Don't worry, I take a lot of notes.
He's a noter.
I am. I have a lot of free time here. So
He's a midnight toker.
So first off, the next show, a Battle on the Border. Did you miss this show? Have you never been to a Battle on the Border show, or are you just waiting to see when the next show is? We have answers for you.
Do you want entertainment?
First off,
do you want excitement? Do you want to be enthused? And do you want the wow factor? A Battle on the Border professional wrestling.
Oh, I gotta take a drink. Keep going.
The best professional wrestling group within the tri-state area. You'll never find a better one like it.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Denham. I don't know if you've heard, but it's rumored that WWE might be going up for sale. So just keep that in mind.
I wouldn't buy them.
So
WWE is washed up.
So anyway, the next show. Make sure first off, real quick, go to Battle on the Border or go to Facebook. Go to Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling. Follow them, like them, so you can get all these updates without me being the one to do the updating.
You do the updating, continue on.
He's got a weak bladder. Weak immune system and weak bladder. So anyway, the next show is going to be... Ow! Fuck, dude. So the next show is going to be... Hey, turn that light.
I didn't hit you that hard.
Thank you.
It was a wow factor.
Go piss. The next show, February 18th, New Beginnings. It's going to take place at the Morrow Arts Center in Morrow, Ohio. Battle on the Border, second class of Hall of Famers is going to get inducted. That includes Jeremy Blevins, Hardcore Heather Owens, and franchise Shane Douglas. There'll also be, earlier in the night, there will be his second annual Jeremy Blevins Memorial Tournament. It's a basketball tournament. The proceeds go to college funds for his two nieces, Kaylee and Paisley, and his nephew, Carter. And so you can go to Battle on the Border Facebook's Pro Wrestling on Facebook, and you can get more information there. It'll feature also the first ever Brandon Blevins Invitational. It's going to be an annual 4-person, one-night tournament. The winner must win 2 hardcore matches in order to win, and the title will be on the line. The hardcore title will be on the line, and Hooks is the first opponent who has been submitted to be in the tournament. So this is going to be very exciting. Morrow Arts Center, we're going to get a new hardcore champion. We're going to have multiple hardcore matches. It's going to be very, very exciting. So make sure you come to the Morrow Arts Center, and we'll get to see that. Then the next show, March 25th, is going to be Night of Champions at River's Edge in Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to be Team Battle on the Border versus Army of Destiny. Again, Army of Destiny consists of Sergeant Ledbetter, Craven, Bomani, and the fourth person, the Masked Man. Will he be unmasked? Technically, we don't know yet, but we will find out who the Masked Man is very potentially on that show. They will be taking on Team Battle on the Border. You made me jump. Scared the fuck out of me.
Sweet.
I can't hear what's going on out there.
I even had to crack the door a little bit.
They're going to be Team Battle on the Border against Army of Destiny. Now, I wrote down some potential people who I would like to see on Team Battle on the Border. Real quick, though, since you just rejoined us.
Hello.
Going back real quick to since
blur.
What?
I didn't do the blur.
Oh. How do you feel about the first ever Brandon Blevins Invitational, where it's going to be a lot of hardcore matches? We're going to tag, Hooks has been involved. He's been confirmed to be involved. There's going to be a couple of other members. I don't know, 5.
I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
4. There's going to be 3 other people. Sorry, I can't do math.
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's your thing.
That's my wheel horse.
I was gonna-
That's my shit.
It is his wheel horse.
Love that shit.
I'll
That's gonna be staple in the head. Don't give a fuck.
That's going to be the show that you're super excited about. Then again, team battle on the board March 25th, Night of Champions, Rivers Edge, Cleves, Ohio. Team battle on the board versus Army of Destiny. I wrote some people down. These are not people who are actually in the match. I want to make that very clear. Disclaimer: these are just suggestions that I am making to Denham, who is watching and currently recruiting his team.
Yes.
I have, of course, Denham.
Yeah.
I would suggest Paxton Calloway.
Yeah.
Big guy. Hooks. Why not? Hooks is a dangerous man. I mean, he has. I wouldn't want to face Hooks.
No, you need hooks.
And then I also wrote Justin Xavier down.
Super Oprah.
Super Oprah. That's
Would
another,
be a good one.
That's
I think
another
Super
good-
Oprah should be in there.
That's another great. That's another great one. In fact, I like that even more.
So it should be,
especially since Justin Xavier is wrestling later on in the show, which we'll get to in
yeah.
a second.
So it should be Denham,
Paxton
Calloway,
Hooks,
and Super Oprah.
That's our prediction. Again, not confirmed at all. Let me
No,
make
that's
very
just
clear.
that's what
our
hope.
predictions.
Yeah, it's a hope.
And real quick before we get into anything else, final prediction. Who do you think the masked man is? We have no clue who the masked man is. Now, I don't want you to go into any. You can say a name. Don't say why. Just say a name.
Dirty Dax.
Okay. I'm thinking.
Dirty
still,
Dax ain't wrestled in a while.
I'm still thinking
Dirty Dax.
Jaden Jet possibly. I'm just throwing it out there. I know he wrestled earlier. I know he won a title, but there's some Spectre Enterprise stuff going on. I'm just saying it could be anybody. We don't know. We have no clue. It could be somebody you've never seen before. It could be anybody.
The Daxy Taxi is itty.
Okay, that's enough of that. Now next,
That's what he goes by.
next. I know, but you have to say itty.
What,
Next,
and the rhyme-ish?
next,
Some-ish?
next
Wish.
match on the March 25th card. It's going to be the Golden Ticket Rumble. 20 people are going to be in it, and the winner again gets 365 days to cash in for a match of their choosing. Sergeant Ledbetter currently holds it. We'll see what he ends up doing with that golden ticket. He tried to cash in against Denham. Denham said, "No, I'll just face you for free."
There, he's going straight up. He thinks his
And
mama.
so now it's going to be interesting to see who wins this. Any predictions of who you think's going to win? I mean, we don't even know who the entrants are. We have no clue, so let's just take a guess.
If I had a guess, it'd be Hooks. I don't know why. But
Hey, I mean, why
if
not?
he gets a chance, he's going to win it.
Right? Why not? I'm gonna go ahead and say Surge. I want
You think Surge?
Hurts, Avery
That or
Hurts,
Hurts.
Avery Hurts.
Hurts will probably get it.
Yeah, I like those two.
Justin Xavier.
Yeah, Justin
That's
Xavier.
possible.
I like those two. I
Man,
like
there's
these-
so many.
so many
there.
options.
God,
Well,
man.
I
that makes
don't
it
know.
hard.
I was gonna say it could be.
Hey,
Justin
definitely ain't
Xavier.
going to be fucking Carson Stupid Drake. That dumbass ain't going to win nothing.
Jesus.
The only place that dumbass wins
Did you know?
is in Cincy Wrestling.
Whoa.
And I don't know how he does that.
Well, there was
because
a lot
he's
of-
not good.
A lot of cheating going on there.
But he's not good.
Go watch our review. The
I
last
don't,
Cincy Wrestling.
I don't know how the hell he wins, but the only time he wins is in Cincy Wrestling. I don't know how.
He has a lot
Because
of
he's
help
not
with
that good.
He has help with him. He
But
has
clearly he sucks in Battle on the Border.
I don't. Well,
And he probably should retire.
we're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued by his.
I would love to
his
speak
lawyer.
to his agent or his lawyer
We're
that I
gonna
haven't
see.
talked to yet.
We've been dodging him.
I have not dodged a single time.
I have. He's been
I would
emailing
not.
us, and I told him we're trying to cool it down.
He has not
We're
emailed us because I have control of WD Podcast Hall.
No, he's been
emailed
emailing
too,
me.
and I have not received it.
He's been emailing me
You don't even
on
put
my,
your email
in my
on the
Twitter
podcast.
in my Twitter bio. I have my email for inquiries at the podcast. He must have found it. He's been emailing me, and we've been dodging him. I've
You're
dodged him.
dodging him. I'm gonna message him.
I don't. We don't need a lawyer.
I'm gonna message him.
We don't need a lawyer. No. We don't need.
I'll
a lawyer.
message him.
Oh no. Let's move on before we get into more trouble.
I'm
Tag
messaging him.
title match. There's a tag title match, Darren, on the March 25th show.
Yes.
Conway,
yes.
Rob Conway, and Justin Xavier, current tag team champions, are going to be taking on Madman Fulton and Congo Kong of Spectre Enterprise. Any prediction for that match?
Yeah.
We have.
Conway. Tag team champion.
Oh, Conway and Justin.
Yeah.
Conway and Justin Xavier are going to retain the titles.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, they're gonna keep their titles.
But-
Spectre Enterprises is not gonna be able to retain theirs.
But I gotta tell you,
theirs.
I gotta tell you that tag team of Fulton and Congo Kong, that's a serious tag team.
What you should be afraid of is not the tag team.
Bobby Fulton.
It's not their lousy
Whoa.
excuse of a manager. What you should be afraid of
David Barnum Spectre.
is the fantastic freaking Bobby Fulton. Is who
David.
they should be afraid
I
of.
will say that David Barnum Spectre better be watching out.
If he thinks he's going to be intervening with fantastic Bobby Fulton in the picture, listen, old son, You better run.
All right. Real quick, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. In all seriousness, it was a great night. We went to an after party. There was a lot of stuff. We'll get to that in the future.
It was a party.
We'll get to that in future episodes.
Celebrated New Year with the best Battle on a Border crew ever.
We did, and I highly suggest you guys start going to after parties. There's wrestlers there. There's fans there. It's a community. It really is a community. And thank you to everybody who showed up. Again, thank you for everybody who gave us praise when we came in. We're absolutely nobodies, and we did hear some cheers, and that's
Hey, we're still human.
It is, and it's reassuring. I know it is, but I'm just saying
we're still a body.
it's reassuring.
Nobody to everybody.
No, I'm just saying it's reassuring to hear stuff like that. So thank you, and also make sure you come out to Battle on the Border on February 18th and March 25th. Wanted to make 100% sure I had those dates right. Also, for
I'm
those
going
of
to
you,
be throwing Derek through a table on this podcast next week.
for those of you that were watching Monday Night Football this past week, we all know if you're Bengals fans or Bills fans or just watching the
We're
game,
just a football fan in general.
you got to see what happened to Damar Hamlin. Prayers to him. As of recording this, he is actually talking now.
Yeah, and off this, he's 100% breathing on his own.
Yeah, the feeding tube was taken out. He's talking now. One of the first questions that he actually was able to write was, "Who won the game?" Nothing but respect for this guy.
He won the game.
Yeah, he won. That's
He
what
won the game.
The doctor said he won the game of life. He did, absolutely. And we wanted to make sure that in the description below, you can actually donate to his foundation that went viral. I'll be posting a link to that.
Pretty sure the amount was only like 2,500 he was reaching for.
He was going
and
for.
it's over multi-millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's over. Last I seen, I think it was over 5. I want to say
Something like that.
It was a lot.
Fantastic because it was for the kids and toys.
It was a toy drive for his mother's daycare, through his mother's daycare. So, link will be in the description for that. If you can donate anything at all, please do. We will. I will.
Mind you, Derek gets to keep his mullet. He keeps his beard. He keeps his eyelashes.
Yeah, I get to keep everything, and I'm going to grow it out this year. It's going to be
He's the only one
magnificent.
that donated.
It's going to be absolutely
He's the only one that
This
donated.
mullet is going to be the most magnificent mullet you've ever seen. Also, in the link in the description below, we have someone we went to high school with who had a very bad accident on the. I won't get into the specifics. You can read the story in the link
it's
in the
the whole
description
thing.
below. But we would love for you to donate to her. Can you move that screen? We would love for you to donate to her cause. I won't get into it. Like I said, if you want to donate, please just at least read the story
Yeah, just
below.
check it out. It's a lot to explain. So
It's
just
hard to
read it
explain
yourself.
in a short amount of time, and I don't know how much they want this public because I did not talk to the family at all about this. I just wanted to, because we donated, I wanted to make sure that we put it out there so other people can. So please go to the description, and not only when you're there, you can find the link for Damar Hamlin's foundation. There's GoFundMe for the lady that we're talking about that we went to school with, and also you can find our link tree there where you can find all of the audio episodes. And if you're listening on audio, you can actually find our YouTube there. So make sure you click the link tree. You can subscribe to us on all these different all these different podcast pages. We're on Spotify. We're on Spotify. We're on Podvine. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on
I don't even know
Google
what a Podvine is, but we
I
are on
don't
it.
know either. We're on it. We're on it. That's the most important thing. You can also follow us on Instagram at _D_podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at DJDub00. Sometimes I tweet about wrestling. I tweet about other things too. You can also find us on TikTok, DDD Podcast 1. I'm actually starting to re-upload things again, finally.
Yeah, it's
So
a
that's
rebirth.
nice.
Like
We're
4 months behind.
Yeah,
but
we're
we
very
got
behind.
it.
We're very behind. I like to just take like one clip, post it on TikTok and Instagram. I'm wanting to get. I know somebody who was our editor in the past, who I kind of want to be our social media manager. So
The struggle that has become.
I hope that our social media gets better because of this. So we'll see. But that's all in the future. There's a lot of cool things planned for this podcast coming up in the next couple of months. So make sure you stay tuned.
We also have a Facebook page that I don't ever post at. Nobody Podcasts. I think. and
Nobody
Crew.
Podcast and Crew.
I think and Crew.
Yeah, Nobody Podcast and Crew.
And if you just love me, the star, the greatest person. Without me, the Nobody Podcast would not be a thing.
Well,
So if you
it would
just
just be
love
it
me,
would just be the single D podcast.
and it would not get as good as views.
Okay.
But if you just love me, go ahead in there and add my snap. It's not on a link tree because I'm not special enough.
I don't have my
But-
Twitter on there either.
It's Darren. One.
I don't have any of our social medias on there. Want to make that clear real quick? No social medias are on there. It's all audio and video versions of the podcast.
One. Darren. DARREN. 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Nobody at him because his head's getting too big. It's like Brian Pillman's.
I mean, make bigger.
He's getting too big. He thinks he's the star.
But you can also email us.
He was really trying to remember.
No, I'm trying to figure out why our email is so dry.
Yeah, why is it so dry? Why are our
I
comments
don't, I
so
don't
dry?
even know why I give the email out. They're not gonna.
Well, you give it out just to be safe.
You sure?
I mean, we might have one person watching. You might email us. Just try one more
All right,
one more
all right,
time.
all right. We'll give it out. It's WDpodcast123@gmail.com.
Yep.
Please don't make me waste my breath. No, I'm just kidding.
And remember also, while you're down there in the description, you can go to w.gg, use the code DoubleD Podcast. I'm not going to spell it out again, but DoubleD Podcast. You can get 10% off your order.
That's how you spell W.
Yeah, so make sure you get there. You can go find the
See, I
link
thought
in
it
the
was only
description.
one B.
You can find the link in the description and our code. Make sure you stay tuned. First episode of 2023 went off without a hitch. Long episode. This was a long ass episode.
Well, that's because this is the best goddamn WD Podcast episode we provided.
It's what? It's gonna, what did you say?
Huh?
It's gonna get better.
Huh?
It's gonna get better from here on out. It can only get better from here.
Nothing gonna stop us. We all the way up.
It's gonna get better.
All right,
My
I'm gonna flip this table and destroy it Derek through this table.
My
So,
my
come on.
neighbors are so gonna
Your
like
neighbor?
wonder why there's so much loud noise.
Well, they'll find out.
Hopefully they watch. All right, see you guys next time, next week. Hit that, end that audio. I don't want to talk on the microphone anymore. We're gonna go find out who this masked man is. Let's go figure it out. Let's
go.
start playing around.
Gone. Gone.
We're going.
Gone.
Go.
Let's fucking grab this son of a bitch too.
Hold on, let me
Here, this motherfucker.
get this off here. How do you stop this thing? All right, come on, let's go.
All right, come on. We're gonna find this motherfucker.
Oh shit.